It's the final countdown of 2020, guys.
Yes.
It's the final show of Inside the Crazy Ant Farm for 2020.
For 2020.
Yeah.
Of course, we'll be back slamming hard for 2021 with all kinds of great, exciting stuff for you. But I will say we're ending it pretty strong.
We are.
We've got the show this week with our fantastic guest, and we've got a bonus interview for y'all next week on Christmas. So,
Yes.
Killing it. Finishing it strong.
Yes, be prepared for that, guys. But today is very special because we're ending the week and the year with a great interview from the one and only Sky P. Marshall. You've seen her in Black Lightning, Sabrina, just a whole bunch of stuff, man.
Goodness.
She's so funny.
Man, this interview comes straight out of the gate.
Like,
and does not stop until until it's over. Like, she is so funny and just like, oh man, we had a blast.
I agree. I can't wait for everyone to hear this interview. That's later on the show. Now, let's get a little crazy. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Inside the Crazy Ant Farm. Holy moly, we're on episode 143 this week. Woo! Insane in the membrane. Like, damn.
It's unbelievable.
I know.
It is unbelievable to me that we have, like, just gone that many weeks, that many shows. It's all because of you.
It is.
And I should say because of our fancy lights and the way we look now and on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, I did not just watch the finale of Mandalorian.
Yeah, right?
I had a sneeze attack.
Yeah.
I'm good. I wasn't crying. I know I sound stuffed up and everything. I haven't watched it yet. I'm good.
Yeah, just stay tuned,
fine.
man.
It's fine.
You guys know your host with the most, myself, J-Lo Fantastic, and the one and only Mal.
What's up?
We got a whole bunch of news to bring you guys this week. A lot of NBC Universal, honestly. I mean,
Yeah.
A lot of stuff with their streaming service and more things going into production for hopefully theatrical releases.
That's right.
And of course, we're talking Disney. We're talking HBO Max. Some good news for HBO Max finally happened this week. We'll be talking about it a little bit later on.
So stoked.
I know. About time. About damn time.
Damn right. It powered the ant.
Yeah, right.
That's all we're saying. That's all we're saying. It did happen right after our post.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Oh, my goodness. But you guys know, before we get this thing started, be sure to head over to our website, www.crazyantmedia.com, where you can start rocking the latest and greatest Crazy Ant Media gear. We have some beautiful designs,
Yes.
our Christmas designs, our holiday designs. If you're watching on YouTube, you see that bad boy. It looks so damn good. I mean, our website says it will not be there Christmas Day, but you can still shop for the holiday merchandise until January 1st. So
That's
it'll
right.
be on our website.
And everything is 15% off right now.
Exactly.
So it's a perfect time to do it. I will have mine before Christmas.
Yes.
I will be sporting by Christmas. I might have to cheat to do it, but it's fine.
It's okay.
Fine.
It's all good.
I mean, that's a good deal, though. 15% off on everything on the website right now. So
Exactly. Basically covers your shipping costs, guys.
That's it,
It's
man.
great stuff. Great stuff. Well, of course, you guys know that we have to start out with the Mouse House, the juggernaut
Of
itself.
course.
Disney. We talked about this on previous shows in the past. The potential of the Empire spin-off series starring Cookie is now dead, sadly. I mean, we announced this thing back in July, part of the first look deal for Taraji and with 20th Television. But details on the series were sparse, and I mean, just everything was so up in the air. And I mean, we all know that the fucking series didn't end so well because of the whole Jussie Smollett thing, and so I think everybody just kind of dropped the ball on this one.
yeah, I mean, I know Danny was really excited about it and was looking forward to it, but he's got so much on his plate right now. I would say that there's probably a little bit of like, okay, whew.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, he's doing so much.
Exactly.
I am kind of disappointed, though. I really was looking forward to see where they were going to take Cookie.
Yeah.
You know?
I
but
agree.
It's just that now. It doesn't mean it won't come.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, right?
Yeah.
So,
It's
I mean,
just
this
pause.
is Hollywood.
It's
We
just
know how that goes. I mean,
Exactly.
It
It could be 5 years down the line, and it pops back up on a streamer. Shit.
it's exactly right. Exactly right.
But yeah, speaking of a streamer, this one is very interesting. Sebastian Stan, I mean, everybody knows him. Bucky Barnes and Captain America, Avengers, all that good
That's right.
shit.
Winter Soldier.
And Lily James herself. Oh man, I don't know how I feel about this one. They're in talks right now to star in Hulu's limited series about Tommy Lee and Pamela Anderson.
No.
Why?
No.
I don't understand this one.
No. I mean,
don't understand.
it's going to be about sex and drugs.
Basically.
I mean, what else can it be about? And why Lily James?
I know.
Lily James is, beautiful, and this is going to be, Pamela Anderson after all the shit.
Yeah.
Like not cool Home Improvement Pamela Anderson, early Playboy Pamela Anderson when she was still, God, this sounds so harsh, when she was still pretty. As if she's somehow ugly now. But I'm just saying...
Before she got the work done.
Yeah, Lily James seems like pre-work.
Yeah.
Pamela Anderson. That forget all that though. Why?
Yeah. Why?
Do we need this?
Yeah. And apparently a lot of it is gonna have to deal with the infamous, famous sex tape that happened and was leaked to the public.
Because is there anything else?
Yeah. Right.
I love how they say sex tape.
Yeah.
There was more than one.
Yeah.
There was more than one. Just saying, there was more than one.
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of funny stuff, man. A lot of funny stuff. And also this week, Hilary Duff went on Instagram and told everybody and let everybody know that the Lizzie McGuire revival is not moving forward.
Yes.
Sadly.
Yes.
Creative differences, it sounds like. They were all talking about how the production team and the creative team wanted to go more mature, but Disney and everybody wanted to kind of keep it more family friendly. And creative differences happen sometimes.
I think Disney was just flat out thinking when they greenlit this thing, it was just going to be a continuation of the Disney Channel show.
Yeah.
And Hillary wanted to be more grown up.
Yeah.
Because Hillary's more
grown up.
It just makes sense. But, Okay. I'm super excited about this next one because I love the 80s.
Yes.
I was around for the 80s. I did. I was around for the original Revenge of the Nerds. Seth MacFarlane, if you haven't heard. And you love Seth MacFarlane. So this is like the best of both. We have Seth MacFarlane and the 80s. He's doing a remake of, or I don't know, revival, reboot, whatever you want to call it, of Revenge of the Nerds, the 80s comedy. This is going to be so good. Seth MacFarlane, basically everything he touches turns to gold now, right? Keith and Kenny Lucas, identical twin brothers, best known for their scene-stealing roles in 22 Jump Street, are set to star in the film.
Yeah.
This is going to be freaking hilarious.
I think so, too. We bash the reboots all the time, but reviving the series, kind of like how they were going to do with the Hilary Duff thing.
Right,
and we think those are much better. Just kind of pop in and see where they're at in their lives. I think that is way better, like we said. But it's going to be interesting, and I've never seen the original, so I don't even know what to expect.
For me, it's going to be really cool to look at it and go, okay, how do they define nerds now? What makes you nerdy now in 2020 as compared to the 80s? I know what made you a nerd in the 80s, but what makes you a nerd now? So it's going to be really interesting to see how they...
nerd in the 80s is now pop culture phenomena right now.
Right. So. You got some square rim glasses and a pocket protector. You're a badass now, but back then you were getting your ass kicked. I'm just saying, so it's going to be interesting. I'm excited.
Exactly. And speaking of bringing things back to life, LA Law is coming back. ABC is in development of a new incarnation of the Emmy-winning Stephen Bochco series, with Blair Underwood set to reprise his role as the attorney, Jonathan Rowlands.
Oh, will Jimmy Smits be back?
Right.
I love Blair Underwood, and I'm excited about that, but you got to have some of the other old characters, pop up. If not, and Jimmy Smits, I'm a huge fan of Jimmy Smits. Here's the crazy thing, though, guys. If you were around, like I was, for the original LA Law, it's not on NBC this time. ABC is stealing it, taking it. Whoop, whoop. And here's another interesting fact. It's coming from the people behind all of the Arrowverse.
Yeah, that's a pretty interesting one.
Not Greg Berlanti. Yeah. We shouldn't say that, but everybody else, that worked on a lot of the Arrow shows and Legends of Tomorrow. So this is going to be Mark Guggenheim.
Yeah.
Interesting. Are we going to see a lot of Arrowverse people pop up in roles in this? Because that would be interesting.
Exactly.
I'd be happy
keep
with that.
Everybody employed. Keep it all in the same family. That'd be pretty cool.
Catherine McNamara.
Yeah,
just saying, if we're not going anywhere with Green Arrows and the Canaries, just saying.
Here we go. Here we go.
Every show until it happens. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
Mark, hire her.
Exactly. More crazy thing that is happening in Hollywood. The impeachment American Crime Story. It's going to be like this series coming from Ryan Johnson and 20th Century Television is put on pause because COVID. Someone tested positive with COVID this past week, and they just said, we're just going to resume filming, like, after the new year.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the holidays. People want to wind down. It makes sense.
It does.
This one's going to, I'm really interested in this one because it's going to follow the Monica Lewinsky scandal. Yeah.
I did not have sex with that woman.
Yeah.
And then it was define sex.
Yeah, right.
Cigar. Blue dress.
Yeah.
Semen stain. We all know the story, but it's sure going to be fun to watch them tell it again.
Yeah, it's going to be wild. But, Ryan Murphy's everywhere right now. He's making a lot of headway and very popular with all the studios. So, watch that guy. If you're on IMDb Pro, like we talk about in our IMDb Pro trending segment, this is a guy to track, to be honest.
Absolutely. And will Brett J. Green show up in there?
Right.
That's all come on.
We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see. Finally, we are here, guys. The time has finally come. After damn near 8 months, HBO Max is finally on Roku.
Yes.
They finally hammered out that deal. The $15 per month streaming service is available right now. And remember, Wonder Woman is coming on Christmas Day, so they had to ink that deal so that
week from today.
Yeah, they fucking had to ink that deal so all the Roku subscribers, or users, I should say, can watch HBO Max for Wonder Woman.
Damn right. And finally, if we knew all it took was a jagged tweet, we'd have done it a long time ago, guys. I'm sorry. We should have done it a long time ago. All kidding aside, though, you knew it was going to happen this week. Like I said, no way they were waiting the week of Christmas.
No.
And they wanted to get that weekend trend for everybody to sign up and everything. So you knew it was going to happen. You knew it.
And sign up for HBO Max, guys, because literally 2021, you get to see all of their fucking new films that are also hitting in theaters. So, as a consumer, it's a great thing. As a creator, not so much.
Right.
Go back and listen to previous shows. We've talked about that.
I will say, though, the HBO Max, their library of old films and television shows and stuff, it is loaded, y'all. It is well worth the $15.
It is.
I'm just going to say, so.
Exactly. Exciting stuff. Comic Book Geek over here.
Yes.
Exciting stuff for Black Adam.
Yes, Cyclone has been cast. Are you guys ready for that? Quintessa Swindell is going to play Cyclone opposite, you guys know, The Rock, Dwayne Johnson in Black Adam, a member of the Justice Society, of course, because that's the whole key. He's bringing together the Justice Society. Duh. This one is really good. Aldous Hodge, you guys know, as Hawkman, and Noah Centineo as Atom Smasher. Rock as Black Adam. So here's the interesting thing, and I didn't see any heat. So I'm wondering, are people finally past this shit? The character in the comic books is not African American. As we all know, though, Quintessa is. So, but there was no backlash. There was no why are they casting that kind of a thing. Remember, even Hawkman got backlash. Why are they casting a black man as Hawkman? Blah, blah, blah. But, so I was happy to see that there was none, and I'm really excited about this. I think this movie's going to kick ass. I'm excited to see the Justice Society. We've seen it on TV in the Arrowverse, with Stargirl, but now to see them kind of on the big screen is going to be awesome.
Well, it's really good, too, because I feel like the people who are really close to the source material hold it near and dear to their heart. They just want that comic book accurate portrayal. And now inclusivity movement, everybody needs to be attached to a project that doesn't necessarily match the source material. So I think it's good. It's a very good thing.
Well, and the source material changes. Look, we've got a black Batman.
Yeah.
There's a series running right now with a black Batman. So sometimes, it goes vice versa. Sometimes you take source material from the comics, make the movies, but sometimes the movies inspire the comic books.
Exactly.
Like Batman the Animated Series. Harley Quinn was created for that, not ever in the comic, but now she's in the comic book.
Exactly.
So I think it's a good thing.
I agree. Completely agree. This one is by no surprise because we talked about it a few weeks ago. The Chappelle Show being taken off Netflix. Well, now Chappelle went to Warner Media and HBO Max and was like, hey, you see what I just did with Netflix? We're going to do the same thing with HBO Max. Like, I am not getting paid from Viacom CBS, who owns The Chappelle Show. So, with all the distribution to all these other streaming platforms, he's not getting paid for that either. So, he's going around Hollywood and making sure that if he's not getting paid, it's being taken off.
And to their credit, everybody is agreeing to take it off.
Yeah.
Except for the one place that screwed him in the first place, and they're still airing it.
Yeah.
So, like, they're like, fuck you. So maybe a lawsuit coming down the line.
Yeah.
I don't know. But kudos to HBO and HBO Max for doing it. I think
Yeah, I mean, he's a Hollywood juggernaut right now, so it makes sense.
It's true. Absolutely true. This next one, the Sprouse brother that we don't hear very often, but but he is still acting, guys. I swear, it's true. And now we know, because Dylan Sprouse, that's right, not Cole, is the newest kid on campus. He's joining Mindy Kaling's and Justin Noble's The Sex Lives of College Girls. After We Collide actor will join the new HBO Max series as a series regular. So not just like a guest star, not just like popping in. He's going to be series regular on the show. Yeah.
Because, I mean, he's got some talent. A lot of people haven't seen a lot of his work. Forget that one thriller he did like a couple of years ago, but it was freaky.
It was
freaky.
It was. So, I mean, I'm excited. I'm just to get them back in. And I love how they're kind of doing their separate things.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's exciting.
I agree. We've been talking about this one a lot. I mean, especially the trades have been talking about this one a lot. The mistreatment and how that Justice League set was. Well, Gal Gadot provided her testimony this past week to Warner Media, and they're doing the thorough investigation, and actually it just kind of came to an end where they suspect that there was, what was the term they use? There was a remandable action. And what does that mean?
Yeah, like what? And Gal Gadot is like, I haven't heard anything.
Yeah.
So she provided this testimony and went, through this whole process and has heard nothing.
Exactly.
She doesn't even know what the punishment was. No. Like, what does that even mean? Like, one thing that did come out of it, though, is that Justice League, the movie that you saw, we saw, everybody saw in the theaters and everything, it act like it don't exist. It's like Superman 3 and 4 of the originals.
Yeah.
Like out of there.
Didn't happen.
Not canon anymore. They have announced it is not canon. So, and that could be because every other director from the other films hated it.
Yeah. It makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. It's like, that's not how Zach had our characters set up. Like, no. So, I'm happy about that, though.
Yeah, completely agree. And I mean, especially, we talked about it a couple weeks ago, Josh Whedon just kind of stepping back from the public light to spend time with his family and figure out his life.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah.
We will forever be grateful for the first Avengers movie, though, bro.
Yeah,
I mean,
real.
like, even if does turn out that you are an asshole and treated people bad.
Yeah.
I mean, because we can separate the art from the asshole.
Exactly.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, you know. Oh, man. And a new fucking series that we've been talking about a little bit on the show.
Yes.
Peacemaker, it's going to HBO Max, and it's the Suicide Squad spin-off series, and the cast continues to grow, adding 4 new faces to its cast, like I said. Oh, damn. Chakotay, he's from When They See Us.
Yes.
As a series regular, as Macklin Monroe, Riverdale, and Annie Chang from Shades of Blue, and Christopher Hyderhall from Togo.
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
You got Annie Chang, though. You nailed that one.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you got to nail one.
Those are difficult names, though. It's to be fair, those are difficult names. All kidding aside, though, I mean, this thing is like booming. Yeah. This is going to be huge. James Gunn is going to spin this off, and I think it's going to be a huge hit.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm really excited to see where the DC television universe, including the Arrowverse, goes on HBO Max. Because it's going to be epic.
Exactly.
It's going to be epic.
Yeah. And this is other breaking news that happened this week. Viacom CBS, we're talking about the Mission Impossible #7 film.
That's right.
Tom Cruise went a little crazy on people.
That's right.
Have you not heard this thing?
Apparently, a couple of people weren't fully 6 feet apart. They weren't following the proper protocol with social distancing of COVID regulations on set. He saw them. I'm guessing it wasn't the first time that he saw them not following it. He went the fuck off.
Yeah, he did.
He just, if you guys haven't heard the audio, he just started ripping them about the responsibility that they have, that the other studios are making movies because of what they're doing, and that he's on the phone with studios and agencies, and he carries the weight on the shoulders, and that they're paying for college tuitions and houses, and and he just started ripping these people about, if you don't follow it, we get shut down. You explain it to them why they can't send their kids to school, and you explain why they're unemployed, and blah, and just basically told them enough is enough. If I see you again, you're fucking out of here. You're fired. You're fucking done. And they said yes, sir.
Yeah, right.
But apparently didn't listen, because he went on another tirade, and this time 5 people quit.
Yeah.
They're like, fuck that. I can't take Mad Tom. Like, it just...
Yeah.
I mean,
this production was shut down back in October for
right.
a week. So, I mean, he just wanted to get this thing made. He is very attached to these Mission Impossible franchise. So, I mean, it makes sense. And, I mean, plus... everybody's got to stay employed during this time. A lot of people have lost their jobs. So, I mean, sometimes when he sees that, especially on a film that he produces and is attached to, I mean, you get a little upset.
Yeah. I mean, look, there was a lot of mixed emotions about, but for the most part, I'd say 90% plus were in favor of him going off.
Yeah.
Like George Clooney, he did the bobblehead shaking. George Clooney, I would have done it a little different. Fuck you, George. We don't care how you would have done it. I'm just saying. But the majority of people thought, okay, maybe the cursing and all that, maybe not. But the message was the right message, that they have to do better. And, So.
Yeah. I mean, George Clooney said he felt the same way about it. Yeah, he just would have demeaned them in a different way. So, I mean, different strokes, different folks, man.
I know, I'm just totally dissing George.
I'm sorry. He's never coming on the show.
No,
never.
Maybe he will, though.
Maybe. Not if he watches the videos.
Yeah, for any of the YouTube, they're like, you have no idea. But just go back and watch any of his films, and...
you'll know.
He does bobblehead. I'm sorry, he does.
Oh, my goodness. Chelsea Aldine from 13 Reasons Why is joining the 11th and final season of Shameless.
Yes.
And it's going to be a recurring role, so that's pretty badass. She's going to be Tish, who works as a cashier at a furniture store where Carl rescues her from an irate customer. Ooh, love interest, maybe?
Maybe.
That's what it sounds like.
Maybe. I mean, the last season, they're going out with a huge bang.
Yeah.
I mean, we talked to Shinola. You guys heard this last season is just going to be epic.
Yeah.
So I'm excited.
Hell yeah. I mean, this guy is basically Viacom CBS's golden boy.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Chris Pine is in negotiations to star in Dungeons and Dragons, Paramount and E1's upcoming film adaptation of the popular board game. Everybody knows it. This is coming from Jonathan Goldstein and John Francis Daly. They're going to be directing and writing the script. So, yeah, it'll be interesting. Yeah, this guy just doesn't like medieval shit.
No, I love.
He still hasn't watched Game of Thrones.
But it's not true. I love Dungeons and Dragons. I loved the cartoon in the '80s. I thought it was badass and everything. I'm just thinking, like, why? Why do we need a Dungeons and Dragons movie? Because we have epic shows like Game of Thrones and like all of the kind of stuff. Why do we need this? Also, what popped into my head is that Dungeons and Dragons, that qualified you as a nerd in the 80s.
Yeah, right? It did.
Just saying it. Watch Revenge of the Nerd. I'm just saying Chris Pine is not a nerd.
Yeah.
So, anyway, I think it's going to be badass. All kidding aside.
I'm excited for it. Like we've talked about before. I mean, everybody's trying to do these Game of Thrones medieval-esque shows. I mean, Netflix with The Witcher.
Yep.
Amazon bringing back Lord of the Rings. I mean, obviously Game of Thrones. Now Dungeons and Dragons. So it makes sense.
Don't forget Nicolas Cage's Drunk Bayou Dragon.
Yeah, that motherfucker.
I'm so excited about that one.
Oh, man.
I don't even know.
Heading over to NBC Universal, they have landed the rights to adapt a graphic novel, The Electric State, and as a feature film, and it's going to be directed and produced by the Russo brothers.
Yes.
Which is pretty badass because they have Millie Bobby Brown to star in this thing. She's going to be a teenage girl in an alternative future who realizes that a strange but sweet robot who comes to her has actually been sent by her missing brother. Ooh.
Oh.
Sci-fi a little bit?
Sci-fi
that thriller?
Sounds like an interesting story. And Millie Bobby Brown and the Russo brothers. hit.
Right.
I mean, that's like a no-brainer, right? Like, you take the Russo brothers, you mix in Millie Bobby Brown, you have a blockbuster. That's like about as simple as it gets.
Exactly.
Then the real question is, because they love to work with people that they work with, will she pop up in the MCU somewhere?
No, I hope so.
I mean, that's long been rumored, and we all know it's happening. Come on, Secret Wars will happen. They will be back. They will be, will Millie Bobby Brown pop up? Like, that's the question. That's the question.
It is the question. NBC is also developing Hope Cafe. It's going to be a multi-camera comedy from Mayim Blayonk and Damian Wayans Jr. In the series, the friendship of lives and loves of workers and customers who are all intertwined at the Hope Cafe. It's a coffee shop where baristas who are also trained as mental health counselors think fraud with tattoos and further. Now the show is inspired by Hope for the Day's Sip of Hope in Chicago.
That's right.
It's going to be the world's first coffee shop where it's okay to not be okay.
Yep, this is a real place.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think it's awesome.
I think so, too.
I think, because a lot of people talk over coffee.
Yeah.
A lot of people get into their shit over coffee.
That's true.
So the idea of having a place where the baristas are actually trained in helping counsel people that may be going through some tough stuff while they're drinking their coffee, like that's awesome.
I agree.
And to do a series about that, because we talk about this all the time, the mental state of everybody right now through the pandemic and through all of the shit that's going on, all the movements going on. Extremely important. So shows that are willing to step up and talk about that topic, I think, kudos.
Yeah.
Kudos.
I agree. The L Word creator, Eileen,
There you go.
You know better than I do.
Shiken
has signed a big overall deal with Universal Television to develop and produce scripted content. As part of this pact, she will serve as executive producer, showrunner on the first season of NBC's upcoming Law and Order Organized Crime.
Dun, dun.
That's exciting.
Yep. The showrunner, I guess creative differences, wasn't working out. Yep. Boop, out of here.
Gone.
And part of the deal, she gets it. I mean, there could be worse things than saying, okay, you're going to showrun a Dick Wolf Law and Order series. I mean, win, and it's Stabler's return. I mean, like, just hand her the hit, because it's going to be a hit.
I agree.
That is exciting, though. Remember, this one was supposed to be on the fall schedule, and then it didn't happen, and then it was delayed. I did see those set photos and everything. Stabler's return has happened. It has been filmed. He was on set. We're going to see it in Law & Order SVU, so it's coming.
Yeah.
It's coming. Exciting.
Definitely, man. Definitely. And Universal is about to close all the international distribution rights to U.S. high school drama The Fallout.
Ooh.
This one's got a huge cast attached to it. I mean, Niles Finch from This Is Us, Shailene Woodley from Big Little Lies, Julie Bowen, Modern Family. I mean, so many different people, young people that are attached to this thing.
Yes.
So it's going to be badass. It's currently in post-production at the moment, so be prepared, man. Stay tuned.
Yes, and written by Megan Park.
Yeah.
You guys, I mean, that's awesome. What If, remember, I mean, she's an actress. You guys probably know her in front of the camera, but written by her, so that's going to be badass.
Agreed. Nobody is going to be happy about this one, or at least I really don't care, because as you could tell from my last week's top 5, Universal hate or dislike shows that the Peacock just got The Office back, and it's going to be on the Peacock on 2021. But it is going behind their paywall. We know they have a free tier and a paid tier, and it's going behind the paid tier. Man, you remember when all those great shows were on Netflix for free?
Yep.
Well, not for free, but still, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Not anymore. Not anymore. They have to recoup all the money they paid to get the rights back.
Yeah.
That's what it is, really. I mean, I think, because remember, we talked about it over and over and over again. $50 million for this, $50 million for that,
Basically.
$60 million. So how do you gotta get it back? You can't just show it for free, right?
Exactly.
I mean, I don't know. This next one, I'm excited about again because 80s.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, remember Night Court, Bull? Remember? Yeah, you remember Bull and Dan Fielding and Harry Stone and like all the gang, Roz, Marky Post, and come on, it was so good. Well, if you don't remember it, you're going to because it's coming back. They're doing a sequel. which is awesome. Night Court's back. NBC is developing the follow-up comedy. John Larroquette will be back as Dan Fielding, which our producer Jason brought up a very good point, and I think this is accurate. If you remember Night Court and you remember Dan Fielding, I don't know how this character is on TV in the current environment. He was he would have been sued every single day under the Me Too movement.
Oh shit.
Like every day violation. Like he was the Harvey Weinstein of prosecutors back in the day. It's going to be really interesting to see how Dan has grown up, maybe. I don't know. So this one is going to focus on Abby Stone, though, Harry's daughter. So, which makes sense because the actor who portrayed Harry Stone, as we all know, passed away a few years back, so unable to kind of come back onto the show, which is unfortunate. But I'm excited about this one. The show was huge.
Yeah.
And it was really popular, spawned a lot. I mean, John Larroquette became a household name because of this show. So we'll see. I mean, again, we talked about this is a revival.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a fast forward. Okay, so not a reboot. So I'm excited.
Agreed, man. Agreed. I mean, spinoffs are huge right now.
They are.
Florence Poe, who is producing and starring in a murder mystery, The Maid, for Universal Pictures.
Oh.
And it's going to be based on Nitta's prose debut novel of the same name. And it's going to be centered around Molly the Maid, who leaves every room perfect and pristine while getting to know each one of the guests' dirty secrets.
Oh.
And explores Molly's descent into murderous underbelly of her crazy-ass workplace.
Molly the Maid.
Yeah.
It at first glance sounds like a Disney movie,
Right?
Molly the Maid. She leaves every room pristine, but then she descends into darkness and becomes a killer.
Fuck.
Yeah. So, I mean, you can only clean up so many semen-stained sheets before you go crazy. I mean,
I can't do it.
That's right. The shit I see every day, I can't take it anymore. I mean, Molly the Maid.
Goodness. I'm tired of keeping up clump.
That's right.
Oh, God.
She's got the wand. She's
right.
gonna
Oh, man.
You all know what wand I'm talking about. Don't lie. It's not just for blood.
Oh, goodness. Superstore. It may be coming to an end, guys. I know a lot of people are upset about this, but just wait. There's going to be a spin-off series. It's going to be entitled Bo and Cheyenne, and apparently these are characters from Superstore. I don't know if I've never watched it, but it's going to be based around them, so be excited for that.
I'm just going to say it. If there's no America Ferrera, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
Sorry. Did you notice? It's no coincidence that when America Ferrera said she wasn't coming back after this last season, they canceled it.
Yeah.
They were like, well, if America's not coming back, fuck it, we're done. We're canceling it. I mean, I'm just saying. So the spinoff, probably not going to work.
Yeah.
Nothing against any of the people involved or the actors or the character. I'm just saying I think the appeal to that show was America Ferrera. And she's not there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. This next one we've talked about a little bit. 65, coming from Sony. It's supposed to be like a sci-fi thriller.
Yes.
More people have joined the cast. Chloe Coleman has joined the cast, and we all know that Adam Driver is also attached, and Ariana Greenblatt is also attached. So that'll be really cool. And it's coming from the Quiet Place directors and writers Scott Beck and Brian Woods. So that's going to be fun.
Oh, and Sam Raimi's producing. I mean, so there you go. Sam Raimi's like a god.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's just Sony's golden boy.
He is. Hands down, without doubt, he is their golden boy.
Yeah.
I was dancing to my own 65. I just think 65.
Oh, goodness.
Love affair. I'm sorry. It's been a weird day for me, okay? It's been a weird day for me.
I know you're not happy about this next one.
No.
You don't
I don't like the
casting.
No, I think Alicia Wainwright would have been perfect. That's just me. But we'll see. I could be totally wrong. I just think she would have been outstanding. As a big Whitney Houston fan, She was my very first concert. Like, I just so many things. But Naomi Ackie apparently is going to be playing Whitney Houston in Sony's upcoming musical biopic, I Want to Dance with Somebody.
Yeah.
These have been huge. You guys know all the musical biopics have been huge. Unfortunately, this one will end in a tragic ending. We all know. So I don't know.
Yeah.
It's going to take a really strong strong actress to pull this off, I think, though, because the ride that Whitney went on in her life, the things that she was able to accomplish, and then how it horribly ended, it's going to take somebody that's got grit.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
I wonder who they're going to cast as Bobby.
Bobby's
Bobby's
hardcore right now. He's like, I can do it. Who better than Bobby to play Bobby? Like, shut up, Bobby. We don't want anybody to die, Bobby. Like, everybody has died, Bobby. Like, I'm just saying, they're all ended up dead in bathtubs. Just saying.
Oh, goodness.
Allegedly, like, no, not alleged. They're all dead in bathtubs, but we don't know.
That's true.
We don't know.
Yeah. MGM. Going over to MGM, Matt Bettinelli, Oakland, Tyler Gillett, and Chad Villia, better known as Radio Silence,
yes,
are set to direct the MGM horror high school movie Reunion.
Yes, and with names like that, I get why they just call themselves Radio Silence.
Yeah,
so much easier.
It really is. I didn't even know like there's 3-person directorial groups.
Right?
I had no idea.
Yeah, and apparently, if you get more than a duo, you need a name.
You need a whole.
You can't
name.
just say brothers or like such and such, and it's you need a name.
Yeah.
So Radio Silence.
Yeah.
Anyway, Reunion. This film's going to highlight the horrific experience everyone went through of high school reunions.
Oh.
But it's going to take it to a whole new extreme because there's a shape-shifting creature that happens to show up in this reunion.
What the fuck?
And starts, I guess, causing havoc. So,
I don't know why Halloween Town popped in my head. Like, this is so weird. I don't know, man.
It is kind of weird.
Yeah.
It is kind of weird. I mean, I know everybody looks drastically different when you go back for a high school reunion than they did all those years. But are they shapeshifters?
Is MGM also doing the one that's doing the Monster series?
I think so, yeah.
So, I mean...
Yeah, it makes sense, right?
They're so goofy. I don't... That's a very particular way of filmmaking that I feel like is not relevant right now.
No.
Just say it.
No.
Oh, goodness.
Boy, Sally sure looks different.
Yeah, right?
Oh, she's a shapeshifter. Who knew? Like,
she only has one eye. She's a Cyclops now. Like, fuck.
Remember when she was cheerleader? We all knew she'd end up like a...
Oh, my goodness.
All right.
Frances McDormand will star in the adaptation of Women Talking from Plan B and MGM's Orion.
Yes.
Right that time.
Yep.
Pictures. Oscar nominee Sarah Polley will write and direct the feature film that is based on the best-selling novel by Miriam Toews. And it follows a group of women in an isolated religious colony as they struggle to reconcile with their faith with a series of sexual assaults committed by the colony's men. I feel like cult, like Handmaid's Tale, like all these cult shows are huge right now, especially like documentary series, but I think this is going to be like more like nonfiction. But,
yeah, well, and because it's happening in real life so much. Remember, old Chloe there from Smallville.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
I mean, like just these sex cults, like and the sexual assault, and I mean, it's ridiculous how like many there are.
Yeah.
It's just terrifying.
I was watching a documentary series the other day on Scientology on Netflix with what's her face from King of Queens.
Yeah,
it's pretty intense.
Yeah, I mean, it's nuts.
Yeah,
religion causes
a lot.
Yeah. I mean, I think like all good things, it can be good and bad depending on who's leading that religion. So, I mean, but I do like the fact that there's going to be a series that takes a look at it and talks about it, because we talk about all the time on this show, sparking conversation, getting people to talk about the issues. So anytime any, project has the guts to do that, that's a good thing.
I agree. Now heading over to Lionsgate, this is a huge one because everybody knows the much anticipated show that we're waiting for.
Yes.
Heels with Stephen Amell has added 2 more cast members to its roster. JAG alum David James Elliott and Joel Murray from Mad Men. So, I mean, badass, man. They're going to be recurring roles in Heels. Like I said, it's going to be an 8-episode, hour-long drama. We all talked about it, talking about Deep South Wrestling.
Yep.
And Elliott is supposed to play Tom Spade. He's a former wrestling proprietor of Duffy Wrestling League. And he's the father of Jack and Ace, husband of Carol. And he's a devoted entrepreneur who built a business that provided opportunities for countless aspiring wrestlers from all over the country. And Murray will portray Eddie Earl, a local proprietor and sponsor of the wrestling league. So that's going to be interesting.
So Harm is playing Arrow's dad?
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. I'm a Harm. I said Harm because I'm a
did.
huge Jag fan.
You did.
David James Elliott is like, that's Harm.
Yeah.
So my concern is I'm super excited about this show, by the way, because I think it's going to be badass. You heard our interview with Alan Maldonado, who's also in it and got ripped to take on Stephen Amell. My only concern about this would be like after the huge success of Harm and Mac reuniting,
Yeah, right.
if you will, on NCIS Los Angeles and the huge ratings bonanza that was, everybody thought for sure Jag is coming back. So how will this do the recurring role though? So not full time series regular, just recurring. So maybe it's okay still. Maybe
we'll see.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. We'll see. Heading over to the streaming giant.
I'm just deep tonight.
You are like you're just getting into your feelings and like I don't know what it is. He's got tissues over here. He's ready.
I'm prepping for the Mandalorian tonight. Like it's fine.
It's fine.
Men can cry. It's okay.
I cry at everything. Like
I have to go to the Hope Cafe. So because it's okay to not be okay.
Exactly.
All right.
Netflix. Going over to Netflix. Kevin Hart and Wesley Snipes are teaming up to headline a Netflix limited series. I love how there's not like stigma behind television anymore.
No. Yeah.
Because I remember watching Entourage early 2000s, or like mid 2000s, I should say. They're like, if you go to television, you can't go back to movies.
That's
like,
right.
There's all that stigma, but now it's like one and the same, which is really cool.
Which is exactly right. I think that's why the stigma's gone because it's merged.
It has.
I mean, it's literally the same thing now. So
exactly. Like I said, it's going to be a limited series titled True Story, and this marks a TV drama debut for Hart, who is also going to be executive producing this series. Hart will play the version of himself in a fictional story, and Wesley is going to be playing his brother.
Yes.
So that's going to be pretty funny.
Yes.
Snipes looks old, though. So, they're going to have to do some makeup or something, because Snipe looks kind of rough.
Damn.
I'm just saying.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Damn.
He's pretty old.
That's why he got booted from Blade.
Maybe.
Because
it's like, listen.
Vampires don't age.
That's true. They don't have wrinkles.
But he was half human, though.
He was.
Yeah.
That's on HBO Max now.
Yes.
So fucking go to Roku and watch it.
All three. The Trinity. Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah. He
Jessica Biel.
Popped up in there.
Ryan Reynolds, Jessica Biel, just saying.
So good.
Yep.
So good. The Queen herself, Latifah, is set to star and executive produce in Netflix's movie End of the Road, and this thriller centers around a recently widowed Brenda who drives her family across country to start a new life after losing her job. While isolated in the desert in New Mexico, the family must learn how to fight back when it becomes targeted by a mysterious killer.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
It sounds like... Because we all know that Queen Latifah is going to be in the new Equalizer movie series, whatever.
Yep.
So it sounds like she's reversing roles and kind of like being chased now.
That's right. The real question is, will by the end of the movie her boys become men?
Oh, goodness. Oh,
what? It's the end of the road.
80s comedy.
Come on, that was a total dad joke. 80s comedy, whatever.
No.
But hey.
Oh, no. Goodness gracious. I don't even have any
Don't
words
make me
for
cry.
that.
Don't make me cry. Okay, what we do have words, though, for is Nicolas Cage as not just is going to be a Bayou Dragon. That's not it. But have you ever wondered where shit came from? Or what, dick, bitch? Any of them. Yeah, we have the E. It's okay. It's fine. I'm not going to say the other one because, that I'm not taking the heat for that one. But it starts with a B and ends with a Y. Nicolas Cage is going to explain all that to us. Netflix is giving him a series called The History of Swear Words by Nicolas Cage. He is going to explore pop culture usage, science and culture impact of curse words through the use of interviews with experts, pop culture historians, and entertainers.
It's so funny how, he's going back and talking to all these people.
Yeah, each episode will focus on a word, and the words will be fuck, shit, bitch, dick, the one I won't say,
yes,
and damn. And that'll be the focus of the series with Nicolas Cage.
Yeah. It's going to be pretty interesting, man. Like, I don't even know what to expect.
He must have done so well as the Bayou Dragon for that upcoming Netflix series. Netflix is like, we need him to do another one.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Tell us why you say bitch, where it came from. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Goodness. I'm sorry. I'm a fan of Nick Cage, and this will be entertaining.
It's going to be interesting, to say the least.
Remember when Keanu did film versus digital?
Yes.
And he does all the interviews? I feel like this is going to be that, but with curse words. He's going to interview experts and pop people. I don't know.
He's going to be so serious. He's going
to be very serious.
Yes.
Very serious.
What is the reason behind Dick? Like, what? I don't know, Nick.
I thought it was Richard.
I thought it was Richard. Yeah, right? Like, goodness gracious.
When did Rick become Dick?
Yeah, right.
We'll find out.
We will. Netflix, they are also doing some questionable things. They have canceled the basketball-themed adult animated series Hoops after one season. We wanted to talk about this one because we have upcoming guests from Queen's Gambit who also touch a little bit on this. Yep. Netflix not solely helping market some of their projects. I think this is a prime example. We talked about this show when it was announced to come onto Netflix.
Yeah.
And we thought it sounded great, but when it actually popped up on Netflix, it didn't pop up in like the new stuff that came on that week. So like I feel like a lot of people just missed the train on this one because they didn't market or advertise enough.
I mean, you've got the guys behind the Lego movie.
Yeah.
Okay, Phil Lord and the gang, and like you should have been touting the shit out of that.
Agreed.
And they didn't. And this is what happens when you don't. You have like all this huge talent involved, and the premise sounds awesome, and you think it's going to be a huge hit. But if you don't tell anybody, I mean, I get that they love their hidden gems, but this is not the project you want to hide under the hidden gems.
It's not.
Like I don't know.
I know, it's crazy. Man.
Market your shit. You got competition coming.
Exactly.
Disney Plus is on your ass. HBO Max is just market your shit.
Exactly.
That's all I'm saying.
Exactly. George Lopez is coming back to a drama series, and after a competitive competition, everybody wanted this thing. All the studios, all the streamers. It's going to be Once Upon a Time in Altland?
Yeah, let's go with that.
Sure, why not? The show is currently in development. Lopez is set to star and executive produce the hour-long series that is described as reaching into the deep suburbs of Los Angeles to characterize a Chicano family and coming to terms with falsehoods of the American dream and their ability to defy expectations. This is going to be Lopez's first dramatic TV role. So
Yeah, I mean, like, huge stretch from the George Lopez show where he was actually a successful, manager of a business and, had a successful family. And so this is going to be the struggling, the vice, full 360 of it or 180 of it. So, I'm excited about this.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm guessing it's centered in East LA.
Yeah, you would think so.
I would think so, right? Yeah. So, but
I'm a fan of George, so I think it'll be entertaining.
Me too, and I can't wait to see the cast.
Yeah,
agreed. Because I mean, he picked the perfect cast for the comedy show. I can't wait to see who he lines up for this one. It's gonna be exciting. This one makes total sense because everybody wants Margot Robbie.
Yeah,
everywhere. Everywhere. She's everywhere. Since Harley Quinn, she's literally just like, pow.
Yeah.
I mean, Amazon got her. They have given her a first look TV deal. Under the deal, Lucky Chap, which is Margot's company, Lucky Chap, will work with Amazon to create television projects that will premiere exclusively on Amazon Prime Video.
Makes sense.
I mean, because why would they premiere anywhere else?
Exactly.
I mean,
exactly.
But I'm excited because she's extremely talented, not just in front of the camera. I'm excited to see what she does behind the camera, and I mean, could be another Reese Witherspoon on our hands. We don't know.
Yeah,
but could be.
All right, it's going to be interesting, man. This next one is really interesting because we got two basically stars of Hollywood teaming up for this one. According to multiple sources, Ben Affleck is in negotiation to star in Amazon Studios' adaptation of The Tender Bar. And get this, George Clooney is supposed to direct this thing.
Which will be pretty good. all kidding aside, he's a really phenomenal director. I think he's a much better director than he is an actor, but he'll probably put himself in it because he always puts himself in everything he directs. But he's a phenomenal director, and I think him directing Affleck, who's also a phenomenal director, but a good actor as well, I think this is going to be really good.
Yeah.
The film's based on the book about a young boy growing up in a Long Island, seeking out his father figures at the patrons of his uncle's bar. So I guess the father abandoned him, and he's kind of trying to find somebody, to look up to be that father figure. And
yeah.
What better place than a bar?
Right. The way back, and then freaking Ben Affleck's past.
Is that why George reached out to him?
Right. Like, listen, you can connect to this character a lot.
I saw The Way Back, and I think I want you in my film.
The ending sucked.
I don't know. Yeah.
But it's fun.
Yeah. But
you can watch that on HBO Max right now too. Everything is on there.
Everything is on there. It's just
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talking more about, we talked about mental health, we talked about drug abuse, we talk about that in every single show. So Apple is in final negotiations for Carrie and Me, and it's going to be a new film adaptation from Carrie and Me, a mother and daughter love story with Carol Burnett's best-selling memoir about her daughter, Carrie Hamilton. You know more about this story than I do.
Yeah, for anybody old like me.
Yeah.
But it kind of touched not real old. It wasn't too long ago. But basically, Carrie Hamilton, her daughter, coming up and being Carol Burnett's daughter. This was at the heyday of Carol Burnett's peak of popularity and just where everybody was doing the ear tug and everybody knew who she was. Well, the struggles, of coming up in that and trying to deal with the weight of that, can take its toll on kids. And that's what happened with Carrie, and she fell into addiction, alcohol, drugs, had some mental instability, and was really just a mess. And Carol made the decision to I gotta take care of my daughter, and kind of walked away from the career and helped her daughter get out of it, climb out of the hole, recovered, only to be thanked by her daughter dying from cancer after she got clean and turned her life around and kind of mended the relationship with her mom. So
it's gonna be deep.
Yeah, it's gonna be deep. It's a really sad story. But it's gonna be one of those that, and it was a long struggle. It started in her, her early teens, and she died from the cancer at 38. It was literally a lifelong struggle that her and her mom went through to try to get this. And so I think it's going to be really, if you ever read the book, or if you've even just heard Carol Burnett talk about it, it's so moving and so powerful. So, and with Apple behind it, I think it's just going to be huge.
Yeah, Burnett as well, and Tina Fey. Tina Fey is going to produce this thing as well.
Yeah, so, which, drama. This is going to be heavy drama, so I love the idea of Tina Fey coming on and taking this powerful. But Tina Fey has made no secret in the past that she's a huge Burnett fan.
Yeah.
Credits Carol Burnett a lot for her inspiring her career in these different things. So that makes sense. So
it does make sense. Woo! Yeah, man, crazy.
Okay, that got deep.
It did get deep. Let's raise it back up.
That's right.
Let's raise it back up. Sky P. Marshall coming on the show to talk about anything and everything. At least we're not selling drugs, guys.
That's right.
At least we're not selling drugs.
That's right. We haven't resorted there yet.
No, not yet. But it is 2020, so we're diving deep in this interview with mental health, with what's going on, with, different shows we're watching, a whole bunch of different stuff in this interview. It's really freaking good, guys. I'm really excited for people to hear this.
And I gotta tell you, she gives a lot of solid advice about how to approach the industry and how to approach your life in order to succeed in whatever you're trying to do. Plus, we finally find out where the P came from.
Yeah, right.
In Sky P. Marshall.
Yeah.
It's a great interview, guys. You're going to love it.
Definitely. Well, here she is.
Sky Marshall, welcome inside the Crazy Ant Farm. How are you today?
Hey, I'm good. Just trying to keep from selling weed.
Aren't we all? This is where we're at.
Out here in these streets.
That is the most real intro we have ever had. That is fantastic.
I get that there's dispensaries, but I'm trying to kick it old school and just stand on the corner because I ain't got shit to do. Just to raise the stakes again.
Look
looking for some excitement in my life.
Just a little bit of a thrill. No one can touch me.
No.
So I guess
Well, we were going to ask you how you were spending your time during COVID, but now we know. It's all right. It's
I got a plan. 2021 is looking good.
That's right. You always need a backup plan, so it's all good.
Just, I'm going to start with a few nickel bags, work my way up to a few dime bags, and looking for a keloid by the end.
There you go.
About 2021.
Well, this is about done. We know what you've been doing, and we know your backup plan, and there's some advice for anybody trying to get into the industry.
Boom, right there.
Yeah, exactly.
Times are tough. You got to do what you got to do. All right.
Absolutely.
Oh, man.
Start on the street.
That's right. Look, we are excited to have you on the show today. This is going to be a fun one. No doubt. We're definitely going to talk all about all of the stuff that you've been on because, I mean, the resume is impressive without doubt. Got all kinds of stuff. But what we like to do to start off is kind of, I don't know, we've already kind of made the introduction now, but what we like to do is kind of have you talk about how you got started in the industry and everything for the fans who might not be familiar with you and how you came up. What we mentioned, Air Force veteran or, stuff, so we'll talk about that. But what about acting? Was it always something that you wanted to do, you saw yourself doing, or how'd you get into it?
Well, it was always a part of my life being on the stage as far as performing arts, whether it be dance, singing, and acting. But because I started at the age of 5 when my mom threw me in a tutu, I didn't know that everyone else in the world wasn't doing it. You know what I mean? Right. I grew up, it was eat, sleep, shit, perform. And then rinse and repeat. So it was always a part of my life, but I was also at the same time very conditioned to only see that as a hobby. So I didn't actually see it as a career ever. And I, did what most people do and go to school, get good grades. If you can't afford college like I didn't, go to the military, let Uncle Sam be your sugar daddy, get your diploma, go work in New York and get your little corner office and, and there you go. And then next you're Carrie Bradshaw and single at 39. So I was like, boom, done. Check. Get to that corporate office. 2 years later, realized the cubicle was just my own personal hell. And I would sit there deciding if I wanted to either throw myself down the stairs or out the window on a daily basis. Because, my weekends were always fire because I modeled all through my 20s. But that was just a little side, hustle to keep my confidence high.
Right.
I'd be back in the corporate office and, I'd have this little cornball ass motherfucker who ain't been laid all decade coming up to me to try to check me about my PowerPoint presentation. And I'm like, I just fucking kicked with Diddy last weekend. I don't even know what I'm capable of. Yeah. And I would just get so frustrated. It was really a Clark Kent Superman kind of experience. And I was ready to just stay in the Cape. And I was just like, fuck, I don't know what to do. And I called my mom one day and I was like, Mom, I legit don't know what I want to do with the rest of my life. I worked so hard to get to this desk and I hate it. And she was just like, my mom's, she's old school. So she was like, well, then that's what you need to talk to God about. You need to ask him for clarity. Hell yeah. And I was like, okay, at that time I didn't, have a relationship with God. I was a fan of his work, but we didn't talk. We didn't talk. So then at that time, I was like, fuck it. I'll believe in anything. You could tell me if I rub a fucking leprechaun semen across my forehead, I'll have great luck for 20 years. I would have done it. I didn't do shit. So I laid down and I prayed every single day. And I'm not kidding you. 2 weeks later, I woke up and it was as clear as day. It was just go to LA, do acting. And I judged it immediately. I was like, hell no, I hate LA. I'm not going to LA. Are you kidding me? My ego was just all intertwined with the vision that God had given me. And I was just like, not happening. Acting, please. A high school dropout can do that. Why would I ever? And I just kind of went on about my day and went back to work. And next thing you know, it was just everywhere. Like you see in the movies where, the bus goes by and it says, visit California. And your closest friend is like, girl, I'm packing this shit up and moving to LA. And I'm like, what? And then everyone's like, oh my God, you're so funny. Have you ever thought about being an actor? And I'm like, no. And, and it was just it was everywhere. It really consumed me. And then I just was like, okay, you know what? Screw it. So 2 months after I had that uh, revelation, if you will, I did. I packed up, got in my car, and drove from New York to LA, kicking and screaming because New York is my favorite city.
Yeah.
And I really, truly didn't want to leave. And a lot of me was still like, all right, I'll show you. This ain't it. Candace, hold down my rent control department in Harlem. I'll be back. Shit, 10 years later, here I am in Hollywood.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just got in the car and was just like, fuck it. But I think it was because it felt more like the career chose me. I didn't really choose it.
Right.
I was very resistant towards it, but still moved towards it with all of the energy. And I think I took a lot of the pressure off. You take when you take the pressure off and you're like, all right, come on, let me come out here and kill this real quick. It's all of a sudden your confidence follows you.
Yeah.
And it did. It just kind of followed me out here. And I was like, I just started listening to everyone's conversation. And I was like, so all y'all out here complaining. Cool. Oh, I could really win here. Like with my Chicago upbringing, my military training, and my New York hustle, I'm about to run laps around you bitches. Like, what's up? And I was 28 years old.
Wow.
So to be 28 starting a brand new industry, A, B, 28 starting a brand new industry being black, there wasn't a lot of opportunities before the hashtag Oscar So White.
Right.
And on top of that, I don't have a resume. I'm not in the union. I don't have reps. I had nothing to work with. I didn't even have any contacts in LA.
Wow.
Just rock bottom. Here we go.
Right.
And I had 2 years of unemployment that I had to survive on to create a foundation in the industry. And I did. I focused on that. Okay, I got 2 years of getting this Uncle Sam money. Let me really build a strong foundation so that by the time that unemployment is up, I will be, bringing in some form of income.
Mm-hmm. Damn.
And that income was background acting.
Wow. That is intense. Like everything about that was just fantastic and inspiring. I mean, I always kind of talk about this though. I always feel like at some point in our lives, you are put on the path you're supposed to be on, whether you know it or not. You get put on that path, and it's the decisions that you make after you're shown that path as to whether you'll be successful or not. And I love the attitude, like, well, fuck it, this must be where I'm supposed to be going, so let me just go and hit it as hard as I can. That's fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. Because at the end of the day, it will hunt you. It will always hunt you. Like once you have that light bulb go off of like, oh my God, I'm really passionate about this thing.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Of course, our ego is designed to protect us, right? So the ego will come up with all the reasons as to why it wouldn't work out. Because the brain is not upgraded, right? It's the same brain that protected men from saber-toothed tigers. It's not the brain 10.2. Like, it's not an iPhone, right?
Right.
So, the brain is not designed to make you happy. The brain is designed to keep you safe.
Right.
Period. And I feel like once people really understand that the brain is very traitorial. It will turn on you in all of your dreams because it's not designed to make you happy. It's solely designed to keep you safe, the fight or flight. So, sometimes you have to think about when you want to step out on something that you got that light bulb or you lit up when you saw someone do it, or you just are natural instincts on being able to execute a certain gift or talent or intellect, whatever that may be. The brain's going to click in and come up with all the reasons for you not to do it because it's scary. And if you fail, it's going to hurt. So you have to treat your brain like an overprotective parent and just say to yourself, thank you for your concern, but I got it. And that's my mantra to myself all the time. And that's not just with career. That's also in relationships, because relationships are very scary too. That's when it's like going to the gym and anything that really requires you to have to level up and the brain can't predict the future. Mm-hmm. It wants to always go to the archive, and the archive is where all the cool, fun trauma tricks and shit is. So you always have to just be mindful of your mind. And that to me is what I feel is the hardest job in the acting industry. auditions, yeah, okay, I get it. Like, auditions are extremely challenging, right? But like, you can get used to it after a while, and it's just a numbers game, right? You know, you
Right.
collect enough no's until you get to your yes. Got it. Once you're on set, you got 150 people there to help you do your job, and they're gonna shoot the same goddamn shot about 72 times.
Hell
All they
yeah.
need is one. They just need one take, so anyone can really like kill it eventually. But it's really the hardest part is being mindful of your mind.
Mm.
You know, because a lot of people take themselves out the game or keep themselves from entering the game, and it's all in their own head. So,
Oh, I love that. And how long did it take you to build up this mindset? Because, I mean, you headed out to LA, and it is the entertainment mecca and is built on rejection. So, I mean, did that come into play a little bit to where you were like, oh, shit, I made a mistake. Maybe I should go back? Or were you just like, no,
oh
fuck it.
no,
I'm
never.
staying here. I'm going to
Yeah,
hit the ground running, and fuck it.
for
Whatever
sure.
comes my way, I'm going.
Yeah, so many things you just said that I can unpack there. One, I don't call it I don't call it rejection. Either I win or I learn.
There you go.
Period.
Oh, there you go.
So I don't ever feel rejected. It's
Mm-hmm.
not my script, and whoever wrote it, that's their baby, and they have very specific ideas of what they desire. Go get it,
Hell
right? Like
yeah.
that's not a rejection to me. I can take away like, okay, well, ask the casting director for feedback if I actually cared about that role. You know what? Maybe if she like sometimes she swallows her words. Okay, cool. I'll practice that then. I'll make sure I really, pronounce every fucking word.
Right.
So, you know what I mean? So I don't like to refer to not booking it as
Mhm.
a rejection, because at the end of the day, if you can get into a casting director's room or a casting director request to see your self-tape, you are one out of thousands of people that have submitted for that role, because everyone all around the world has access to submit to auditions now because of self-tape submissions, right?
Right.
So you already won. You already won. So that A. B, yeah, there's when it went like when you said the part of like, oh, this isn't working, I'm gonna pack up and go. When you really have that, like, I'm not religious, but I'm very spiritual. Like when you really have that energetic tie to a desire that is connected to a dream, a passion, it can't be a plan B. You just can't. Not if you want to live like a full life. Like it can't. You don't have to make money off of it, but you can't ignore it.
Right.
You know what I mean? It could be a hobby or it could be a career, but it's not going anywhere. So for me, I just figured I'm just going to go all in. I've tried the hobby thing and it didn't work, and I did everything to avoid it and keep it in its hobby space, and I wasn't happy. So the only other option was to promote it up to career. And once you do that, there is no turning back. Not for me. Third thing that you said around how did I get that mentality?
Yes.
And you know, I am grateful and lucky enough to have received very sophisticated training from the military when it comes to processing fear. You know, they do not train us to have an M16 rifle in our hands, slowly creeping towards danger, just so when a motherfucker jumps out of the bush, you turn around and run. That's not, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We ain't trained to do that kind of shit, right? We are literally trained, if we sense fear, if we sense danger, you gotta go towards it.
Right.
Like my brain, it's like if I feel like I'm scared to do something, I'm like, God damn it, now I gotta go do it. Or like I'll be sitting at like a bar. Ooh, you remember those days? But I'll
Oh,
be
yeah,
sitting
yeah,
at like
right.
a bar, and like I see a cutie across the way, and then I'm like, oh, I should go say hi, seeing that he's only eye fucking me right now. Like I should just get up and go say hi, because I get it. I might be intimidating. I got my red lips on. I understand. So like, you know, I'm like, okay. And then once I feel that feeling of like, oof, no, what if he turns me down? What if he has a girl? You know what? And then once that fear kicks in, like I said, the ego will come up with anything to make you not do something scary. So then the ego will say, if he's a man, girl, he can come to you. This is 2020, right? It'll try to like make you feel good about your fears. So then once I see all that happening, that's when I'm like, shit, I'm scared of it. Now I gotta go do it. And I do. I get up and I go say something. So I actively practice it all the time. You know, Will Smith says it all the time. I think he stole the quote, but like, the only thing he fears is fear itself.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the state of mind that I have always wanted to maintain because of the training I had in the military. I hold on to that as hard as I can because, again, it's all fear-based, what takes people out of the game here in the acting industry, specifically in LA, because this is the motherland of the entertainment industry.
Right.
So it is not built to be easy. It is not designed to keep you comfortable. It's not designed to protect your feelings. This is a real deal out here. So how one processes fear can take them so far. Like, have you seen that movie, Amy Schumer's movie, I Feel Pretty?
Yes. Yeah.
You see, like, what she was able to manifest
Absolutely.
by just walking in that space of fuck it.
That's
and
it.
Everyone else is looking at her like, wait, but you're not supposed to be feeling this good about yourself.
Right.
Wait, what? She wasn't scared of anything.
That's it.
You know what I mean? It's that kind of mentality. And then also when you're brand new, like I was at 28, something that the first like acting coach that I got here in Los Angeles, Leslie Kahn, she was so clear to me. She just said, she was like, dare to suck. Like, just dare to suck.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's really fun.
Absolutely.
To just suck at shit. You know what I mean? Like, stop trying to nail it. No, just go in there and fucking suck.
That's. I mean, but it sounds like crazy advice, but it's absolutely great advice, right? And I think it just goes back to the mentality, though, that you said, like at the top of the interview, with like the Clark Kent analogy. You put on the cape. I feel like once you put on the cape, you can't take it back off. You understand that when you put on the cape, it's not supposed to be easy. But that's why you put on the cape, right? Like, it's not supposed to be easy.
Exactly. Let me tell you. Yeah, that cape is like when I open up my DMs now, and like everyone's like, "Oh my God, I love you. Step on my face," and I'm like, "What?" Right? Like, stands are weird. I stand you, and I'm like Googling what is stand, and then my friend is like, "You dumbass, it's the Eminem song." I was like, "Oh shit."
Shit.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's the cape ain't easy. Once you put the cape on and you can't take it off, and you start winning.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. People start noticing. They point up at the sky and say, "Look at Superman."
That's
you know
it.
what I mean?
Or in this case, Superwoman, right? Because I want to talk about that too,
absolutely.
because like you said, you brought it up at the time that you really kind of got started in it. We hadn't seen all the changes. We hadn't seen the diversity pushes and the Me Too movement and the Oscar So White movement. So talk about that a little bit, the challenges of when you first got there and the stuff that you had to kind of go through. What was your approach to kind of overcome that? And have you seen significant changes with the industry towards your career? And how has that changed you?
Oh yeah, it's a great question. So for me, when I first came out here, yeah, I was slim picking, and it wasn't just auditions. It was also agents and managers willing to sign you, and if it wasn't from a military background, I don't feel like they would have seen me as special, because it was just kind of like, oh, she's pretty, but military, that's interesting. Like, she can do her own stunts. Like, it was like they had to find something outside of me to, like, qualify me. And I was just like, okay, but that's just to get signed so that somebody can submit you for auditions, right? So you still got to get someone to submit you. You can't just self-submit. I mean, you can on Actors Access and Backstage and LA Casting or New York Casting. There are platforms where you can self-submit, but I came in here ready to play. Like, I didn't want to spend too much time, on student films and stuff like that. Like, it's great. It is great to do. But again, I only had 2 years of unemployment. I can't wait for some motherfucker to take 8 to 20 months to edit so I can get my footage. And then the footage don't even look right. And the sound is messed up. And now that's the only shit I got on my reel. Like, I didn't have to have that. Right. So I actually paid somebody to create my reel. And they had an actual set that looked just like a TV set. They had TV lighting. They added the music. They wrote the scripts for you. There was even somebody that would stand or sit in, and you could shoot over their shoulder so they know that it's not just you, and create your own reel. And it's literally called createyourreel.com. So I created my own reel, and that's what I used to get reps. So now I have a rep, terrible rep. But at least somebody was submitting me. So what I noticed was, there wasn't that many auditions for Black women. And then when there were, I remember feeling like, shit, because it was always fair-skinned Black women.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted the Halle Berrys, not the Viola Davises.
Right.
So, you know, I was just like, oh, Lord, I guess I have to wait for that next slave role. Like, I was like, God damn, when are they going to call us in? You know, but they just wanted the light-skinned, curly hair girls. And it used to sometimes bother me. And then I even noticed, just within my own culture, of course, right? So like, and then I noticed, you know, you do go in on like a Black TV show audition or a Black film, Black Hollywood is what they like to call it, which is fucking ridiculous. But you'd go in and, you know, I would like wink at other dark-skinned girls and like we would just have this little inside thing with each other. And then I realized, okay, I need to figure out how this situation is going to serve me, because there is slim picking out here for us, and these light-skinned bitches are getting on my nerves. No, I'm just kidding. So what I end up doing is dark-skinned women that were on television that people may not have known their names. Like Aisha Hines, who is now on Fox 911, but again, this was like 8 years ago.
Right.
Or Yanni King, or Emiatsi, or Gabrielle Dennis, or Shania Frederick. I can keep going, right? It was all these dark-skinned, beautiful women that were booking. They were getting a lot of guest stars, recurrings here and there, a couple of them series regular, but nobody knew their name.
Right.
So I went online and I found a bunch of pictures of each one of these actresses, and I created a grid of all of their faces, and I made that my screensaver on my cell phone. So I actually used the women that most actors and most actresses would see as their competition. I used those women as my inspiration, and I would look at it on my phone, and I would just, you know, say to myself, like, I'm going to get a seat at this table. I'm going to get a seat at the table with these women, you know, because they've cracked the wall within my own culture, let alone mainstream Hollywood, right? So I would end up finding myself sitting in the waiting room next to the girls that were on my screensaver, and I didn't care. I showed them. I was like, look, you on my screensavers. I just want you to know, like, you were part of the process that manifested me here. And then they would get up and leave, but it doesn't matter. I still was able to share. At that moment, I mean, they blocked me on all platforms, but that wasn't the point of me making the grid.
Right.
So, like, I'm not trying to be a friend, bitch. Like, I'm just trying to give you clout, but if you don't want it,
It's like, whatever.
you ain't got to call the cops. It ain't that serious. Black Lives Matter, bitch. So anyway, so that was the first step for me, is being inspired and finding my grounding within my own culture. You know what I mean? Within the group of Black women that would show up in the room. And then later, Oscar So White came out, and things exploded, and everybody was racing around like, oh my God, we need some Black people. Where are they? Where are they? What's their names? We only know 6. And then, you know, so then I was standing there like, I'm ready. And I started auditioning way more at that time. And my side jobs helped me out a lot.
Yeah.
Because I did extra work for 5 years. And I was always taught, it's not about what you're doing, it's about who you're being while you're doing it. You know, you could be a bartender, but, you know, if Tom Cruise is the bartender, he's going to be the best bartender in the spot, right?
That's it.
For me, even though I was an extra, I saw people walking around on set like zombies, like I'm just a background artist. And instead, for me, I told myself, no, this is a paid internship. So I would show up every day and I would have that mentality. I'm a paid intern. So I would be standing right by Video Village watching. I made one of the series regulars my mentor, and like he would help me out here and there. And then I would take the call sheet home and I would look on there and I would find all the people on the creative team on Instagram, and I would like and comment and like and sometimes comment and like, so that by the time, let's say Anthony Hemingway, who was a director on the show I was an extra on for a year, CSI New York, he called me. Well, the casting office had me come in to audition for a couple of episodes of Speaking Lines on Shameless. And I was like, wait a minute, Sky Marshall. Like, I've read you before, right? Like, I've worked with you before. And I was like, no. He had no idea that I didn't like the last 20 fucking pictures of his cat, but it didn't matter, right? It didn't matter how he knows my name.
Right.
I started using Instagram as my networking platform because I didn't have access to get into the parties. And till today, Instagram has been the strongest platform for networking with people that are a part of the creative team, from the casting assistants, associates, casting directors, to writers, to producers, to directors, studio executives. The strongest platform for me with keeping and maintaining relationships, because that's the second outside of your mentality. Number one. Number two is maintaining relationships, and not in an opportunistic way,
right.
like genuinely finding people in the industry who you admire and whose work that you're a fan of, and you actually want to be a part of their network community. Like, there still has to be authenticity involved in that connection. Otherwise, they'll see right through it. That's been the second most effective thing in maintaining my career and creating my career. Is that. And I would say about 80% of the credits that I have in television and film have all been because of relationships.
Damn.
Wow. I mean, I just thoroughly love the approach. I mean, the understanding and the strong mental game that you bring to it is why I think that you've been able to be so successful. I understanding, because I think that there are a lot of people, like you brought up, who somehow think that being a background actor or being a PA or whatever the case may be on the set is beneath them or not good enough. And it's like, if you are on that set, it is a chance to learn everything you can possibly learn, soak in everything you can soak in, meet whoever you can meet. I mean, there is no bad time to be on a set no matter what you're doing.
Absolutely. But even outside of set, when I decided, like, oh, I'm done with extra work, I went from there and graduated to catering. I was very proud of that.
There you go.
So then I became a caterer. So then again, it's not about what you're doing, it's about who you're being while you're doing it.
Yes.
So you have to trick yourself. So I told myself that I was a spy who would go to these parties and pose as a caterer so that I can meet the who's who's. So, of course, that made it real fun getting dressed to go, because I wasn't like in a white button-up and tie. Like, they had us wearing black dresses.
There you go.
Because they always wanted us to blend in with the guest. So I was like, okay, great, boom. And I ended up meeting, because I knew I couldn't get into any of these parties. So I was like, fuck it, catering, boom. So then I was working at this Warner Brothers event, and I was walking around just like you would see like a spy on 007, but except I had a tray of mushroom griddle cakes on my hand. And I'm just kind of like walking around, and I'm listening to everyone's conversation. And then I keep hearing everybody congratulating this one director named David Nutter. And I run to the kitchen and I Google him, and I was like, oh shit. Like, they know him as the pilot whisperer because he had like the most pilots that went to series and became very successful. So I was like, okay, awesome. So I went and like chatted with him, and he was cracking up laughing at me. And from that connection is how I got my first network credit, which was The Mentalist. And that same director, David Nutter, then the following pilot season put me in a CBS pilot. I had no agent. I had no agent.
Wow.
So that was one of the things I also have to really drive in with people is, you think you know how to get it done in Hollywood. There is no formula. There literally is no formula to how to get it done. If I thought that me tray passing some mushroom griddle cakes as a caterer was going to get me my first network credit and pilot,
right?
What? If someone would have told me that, like, okay, bitch, look, if you want to be successful, you got to be a caterer. Like, I would have been like, girl, bye. I got a degree and I served this country. I ain't doing that shit. You can kill yourself. I'm about to go sell this ass in Beverly Hills. I'm not going to do that. So yeah, there really isn't a formula. You just have to, once you learn to trust yourself, if you can just get out of your own way and put your pride and ego to the side, you would just be surprised where it leads you to.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
And again, the mentality around it. Oh, and just to button up that last question before that you had about what is it like now, as far as opportunity for Black actors and my experience in it,
Mm-hmm.
it's amazing. Like I said, like there's tons of opportunity. Everyone sees it. It's all over the place. Like
Right.
people are getting swapped out. Like I almost jumped off my rooftop when I saw that Batwoman is now a Black girl with
Yes,
two
right?
and she's chocolate. I almost passed out. You know what I mean?
And they redesigned the whole costume and hair and everything for her. I mean, it was fantastic.
Batwomen got booty and childbearing hips.
That's
You
it.
know what I mean?
Well, I loved it because did you see the statement she made? She said she went in there and she told them that we always see Batwoman in the shadows and but I want young girls to know that when that shadow creeps up, it's a Black woman in that shadow, and they listen to her. So
absolutely, you can see her ass from the front. That's the kind of Batwoman I want to get behind.
That's right. All right, well, let's talk about it. You're in the Arrowverse. You're in Berlanti's world of CW. Mega hits. 2 of them actually on Adventures of Sabrina and Black Lightning. Talk about that a little bit because 2 huge shows with 2 huge fan bases, and I mean the Arrowverse. And actually bringing Black Lightning into that and adding that addition to it was just a phenomenal move, I think. Talk about that and that experience for a little bit.
Oh my gosh, yeah, Black Lightning was my first recurring role, and as an actor, you really have to learn when it's time to graduate yourself because nobody is going to graduate you but you. Meaning, if you're doing extra work, great. Know when to stop. Because you can stay doing extra work for a long time because the money comes in and it's very easy to do extra work. You have to really stop yourself and say, no, don't pay me any more money. I'm done being an extra. I'm going to now go get some speaking roles. So then you start getting co-star, which is like, a line or 2 maybe.
Right.
And then next thing you know, you have to say no more co-star roles. I got that. That's what I had on like Dexter, right? So then next it's like, okay, I want to only do guest star roles. So now you're collecting a bunch of guest star roles and that's gems. That's gold right there for casting directors if you have guest star roles. And then it got to the point where I was just like, okay, I am not done with guest star, but I only want you guys to focus on recurring roles. And that was harder because it's very hard to actually get what you want sometimes. But if you stay focused, yes, I'm going to have less auditions because I'm telling all those other roles to go take a break for a minute. I'm only focusing and waiting on recurring roles right now. Yes, I am putting a lot at stake, but if you believe in yourself, you just have to be patient. And the hard part is the patience. It's not the craft. That's easy. You just got to show up. Anyway, so the recurring opportunity came up for Black Lightning. At the time, I was filming a top of show guest star at NCIS. And I remember asking them, I was like, oh my God, you guys, I have this producer session for Black Lightning. Now, the creators of Black Lightning, Myra Brock Akil and Salim Akil, I auditioned for them for The Game 4.5, 5 years prior.
Damn.
And I didn't have any credits. And she remembered me from then. So that's another thing I think when a lot of people forget that the seeds you plant are just as important as the bookings.
Yes.
Because you just have to hold on. And if you can make it to them at a producer session or a test, they don't forget you. You just beat out thousands of women. Mm-hmm. So I'm at NCIS and I was like, okay. When's my lunch break? Okay, shit. Okay, cool. So then I asked the woman, the AD, I was like, look, I got to run and do this producer session at Warner Brothers. How can I pull this off? So then she was like, oof, to the Valley. Let's see. She was like, can you afford a helicopter? I was like, stop playing. And then I was like, okay, let me think. Let me see if I know anybody with a motorcycle, like who can like come get me. Zing, zing, zing. Go get this done. Come back. Like, nope. Okay, cool. Damn, who has an ambulance truck? Like, I literally was like going through the Rolodex. And by the grace of God, I ended up rapping like 30 minutes before my producer session.
Oh, okay.
So I'm not kidding. I'm literally speeding to get to this producer session. I am wiping the homeless female veteran makeup off.
Oh, shit.
And putting on Kara Fowdy makeup, the sexy vice principal of Black Lightning.
That's right.
As I'm taking the homeless face off in the car on the 101, and then applying a Beat Glam face, I had to park and swap wigs in the car. And then as I put the dress on and go running into the building, I had to get the security guard to zip my dress up. So the whole ass and shit was out. I didn't care. So the security guard couldn't wait. He zipped it up. I went in and I was so flustered. The only thing I could think in my mind in that moment was, dare to suck. I dare you. And I'm like, bet, bitch. I'll go in here and suck because I'm tired anyway. So I went in there and I just made Miss Foudy me. I was just, actually, I take that back. I was auditioning for Lynn.
Oh, okay.
The mother.
Yeah.
The wife of Black Lightning. I was auditioning for the wife of Black Lightning. And I went in there, and because I just was like myself and just kind of doing me, that's when Myra was like, ooh, I don't know, maybe she's Miss Foudy. And I was like, okay. And then I got that and went off to Atlanta. And, you know, being able to start a series with everybody, being able to be in episode 101.
Right.
There's nothing more electrifying than that, because I was only used to guest stars, which means I would be the one who showed up, the new kid in school and shit, while everybody else knew each other and sat together at lunch. You know, it's kind of weird. And then you know you're leaving, so no one really gets attached or asked for your, like, Instagram. So, except for Milo in This Is Us, I did one guest star, and he asked for my Instagram and followed me on Instagram, and I felt really good about that.
Milo. He's just cementing that nicest guy in Hollywood shit, right?
Because I know he doesn't do that to all the guest stars. And he doesn't like anything either, but I know he's looking. I know he's looking because I sat in holding with him on set, and I see him on Instagram. So I know he's looking, and I just want to say hi. Anyway, it's just amazing to start a series with everybody. You create this family, and the beautiful thing about it, two amazing things about it, is we're playing make-believe as comic book characters.
Right.
Like, what? It's not like we're doing some heavy shit like Big Little Lies. Like, oh my God, we get to just like pew and be in front of green screen, right? Like, and second, okay, there's three really good things. Second, all of Greg Berlanti's shows film in Vancouver for the most part.
Right.
Celine McKill had to stand up to CW and say, I can't shoot this in Vancouver. There is no Black people in Vancouver. This is Black Lightning. I need Black extras. I need my crew to be diversified. I need Black one-day guest stars and co-stars. And it's just going to break the bank if you try to fly all of that up. It just doesn't make sense. Like, we need to film in Atlanta. So that's the only show of Greg Berlanti's that is in Atlanta. Yep. So I'm really proud that Celine stood up for the show so that he can create the world that Black Lightning's designed to be. And three, one of the things I love the most about the show Black Lightning is that from the very beginning, it focused on the real villains in the world. It wasn't all like costume creatures. It was, the drug lords and high school shootings and sex traffickers and police brutality, like the real villains in our community.
That's it.
When Flash isn't coming down to save us, when Batman's not coming down to save us, we have to save ourselves from the villains within our own streets. And I thought that was very brave of CW to just give Celine that freedom to really write a show that speaks like us. Like, I even cover my mouth when, like, the Tobias, the bad guy, is like saying to the Black dude, like, you big lip chicken eating. I'm like, oh my God, turn the channel, CW. All the lawyers are already getting into the car. Oh, the show ain't gonna come back next season. And then it just keeps coming back. And it's just, and people were on Twitter saying Black Lightning is so Black. The only way that it can get more Black is if the show started late. If the show started 6 minutes late or something, he said, that had me laughing so hard. Black Lightning, incredible. And once you get a recurring role, now everybody's like, okay, she can handle a series.
Right.
She can handle, like, carrying a character. So then I stayed in that space of like, okay, let's get some more recurrings. And right after that, it was recurring on. It got serious again, so I did The Fix on ABC, which was still fun. I got to do my like little Olivia Pope moment, and then I had a pilot with ABC, and then after that it was Sabrina. And I think the most insane thing for me on Sabrina is the fact that when I did watch Sabrina, I was obsessed with the character Zelda. I thought she was absolutely beautiful, played by Miranda Otto.
Right.
And I just thought that she was like had me cracking up all the time. So that was one of the because as you like I said, Black Lightning, I was able to create that world with them from the beginning. But watching a comic book series and like the world, as you know, it's not real, right? It's like there's magic and there's effects that we all sit down and believe as we're suspended in this fantasy world with them. So for me to like cross that line of like the real world into the Sabrina world and like actually walk on their sets as a fan of the show, it blew my mind. It blew my mind. Like showing up to the table read on day one and everyone's there, and it was like being in cheer camp. Like they were all like really like it was a lot of energy. Because they were a hit show.
Yeah.
So when you walk into season 2 of a hit show, the energy's just super high and everyone's just ready to go. And then I read the scripts and that day one table read, I went up to Miranda Otto, the only person I went up to, and I was like, can you sign my script for me? And she looked at me like, bitch, you're on the show. And I was just like, and she signed it for me, and I was like, thank you, and walked away. And then by episode 8, I get the script and it says that I make out with Miranda Otto. And I was like, see, this is the problem with Hollywood. They just won't let you have a Hollywood crush. They will literally, oh, here we go. So every time we kissed and they say cut, her face looked like she dipped it in a bowl of Nutella, and I looked like I dipped mine in a bowl of cocaine. So we would just get our makeup would just transfer every time, and I'd be so embarrassed because her whole face looked like she got punched by Mike Tyson. But so that was like a crazy experience for me, being able to like walk into a world that I already loved.
Right.
And then like having an opportunity to actually like make out with the character that you like what? Like, cause I still was a fangirl.
Right.
Of Sabrina every day that I was on the set. Like, I don't think I ever like really let it really process until the show was canceled. I was like, wait, what? And Roberto called me and told me personally, and that just goes to show what kind of human he is, And yeah, so part 4 will drop New Year's Eve, December 31st, and that is the final season of Sabrina, and I'm really excited about that. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, and I mean, there's a whole bunch of fans with that one. Something else we've been trying on the podcast, and I think you're just going to have a great time with this one.
Yeah.
What do you think is the most embarrassing moment you had either on set or on stage that you are proud of now that you can just tell and laugh about?
The most embarrassing on set or on stage? Oh, wow. Yeah, that is a good question. I would have to say, there was a moment on Black Lightning, and I was like, I had a lot of anxiety because I had to have my very first kiss on set. Now, here's the gag. It never fucking aired. So I went through all of that for nothing. And I'm like really nervous and I'm like sweating, and Black Lightning, played by Cress Williams, comes up to me and he's just like, make sure you eat some mints, and walks away. Like everybody was in on like increasing my anxiety because they all knew it was my first kiss. Even the cameraman, he was like, so we're going to get really tight. Like the lens is going to kind of touch your ear a little bit. And I was like, the lens never comes that close. Like they were really like fucking with me. So I was very nervous, and I was just like, just sitting I literally Googled how to kiss on set. Like, I've never kissed a man before. So anyway, so I'm getting ready and I'm like, I got this. Like, I'm pumped. I'm like, this ain't shit. Like, let me go do this. I've kissed men. Like, this is my jam. So then I get on set, and as they were, it's very quiet on set right before they say action.
Right.
And right when they say action, I let out a fart. Like, I think I relaxed. I think I relaxed myself too much. And I have some ginger tea, so like I think I relaxed myself too much. And now the room is completely silent, and it was just like right before having to kiss someone. So then, of course, I was like, cut. Like, I had to say cut, and only the director says cut. And everyone fell out and like laughed in that moment. And I said, and I was just like, I'm leaving, and I just walk off set, and I was just so mortified by it. And that, I would say, is the most embarrassing time. Absolutely, that definitely trumps all of the other very strange moments.
But you have survived. You have moved
survived.
on. You have passed it. So it's good.
I have, but now I have PTSD, and I can't find around anybody.
That's it. I said
have
past
to be
it.
in
No
my
fun.
car or at home.
That's fantastic. I
At
absolutely
home
love
in
that.
the bed under the blankets. Like, I need to make sure the neighbor doesn't hear. Like, it's very. I think there's like therapy for it. I just haven't signed up, but.
The real question is if you ever have to come across that actor again in another show or another film or something.
I don't even follow him on Instagram.
It's like that. It's like that.
And he's Black Lightning.
Oh yeah. So there you go. There you go.
Oh,
Too
yeah,
funny.
it's terrible.
Oh my goodness. Okay. And then we have to ask, because that we were talking before we started recording, and I just think this is an interesting story that I'm sure, because so many people have this issue with SAG and all these different things about you need to change your name because we already got one of this person or that person. Tell us the story behind the P, because I thought it was pretty entertaining. Sky P. Marshall. Why did you drop the P in there?
Well, no, I had to put the P in there because, everybody was like, ooh, Sky Marshall. Like, do you work on planes? I'm like, shut the fuck up. Like, I was in the Air Force with that name, so I've already heard all the jokes, but everybody thought they were the first to tell it. So, like, it became so annoying. And also, the name it existed way before 9/11.
That's
like,
it.
I was in the military. I enlisted in the military a year before 9/11. So it wasn't funny. And then 9/11 happened, and everybody was like, oh, Sky Marshall. So then for me, I didn't want to bring that energy into Hollywood. So then I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and put my middle initial in there. I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle that P in the middle. And then everybody's like, Skype. And I was like, shut the fuck up. Because it wasn't FaceTime yet. So when Skype came out, everybody's phone would do the typo when they would try to put Skype. It would be Skype. And I'd be like, I really can't win. Like, this is some bullshit.
Like, what the hell?
This is really some bullshit. So, yeah, no, I didn't choose the name for Hollywood. I had that name since 1999. I was not born with that name, which is true. The name that I did have, which I will not repeat, because I can't stand the name, it was very challenging for people to pronounce, and I'll just be straight up, white people to pronounce. And I saw something online today that actually brought that up because I guess some Republican dude or whatever was like making jokes saying Kamala, and I was like, come on, you know how to say her fucking name.
Right.
It's
That's
Kamala, comma, like the punctuation, la. And I was like, why does this frustrate me that people are calling her Kamala or Kamala? I was like, oh, I know why. It's triggering for me because people didn't just try to go out of their way to pronounce my name properly. And that's when I was like, I'm just going to make it easy on myself and easy for everybody else. And my nickname was Sky.
There you go.
So I just decided before I went to college, when you go to college, you're like starting a brand new life. So I was like, I'm going to go to college and I'm just going to start as Sky. And I had my name legally changed. My mom didn't care because my name didn't have any attachment to like the family or anything. So my mom was like, yeah, do whatever you want. It's your name. So I was like, cool. And I did. And then, that was in 99. And then 2001 happened. And I was like, what a stupid fucking name I chose.
Well, I'd say it all worked out pretty well.
My manager thinks she's so slick because every time I do a TV show, She sends them my contract just saying Sky Marshall. And I was like, bitch, if you don't put the feedback in there, we gonna have some problems. She's like, but Sky Marshall just sounds so beautiful, Scabba. Shut the fuck up. I don't care.
Oh my goodness.
It's so freaking good, so good. But
Yeah.
this has been fantastic. Thank you so much for getting a little crazy with us on Inside the Crazy Ant Farm. But what we like to do before we
You
let
guys
you
are
go.
awesome.
Oh, thank you. What we like to do before we let you go is, because this podcast is to help up and comers break into the entertainment industry, and I mean, you sprinkled advice all throughout the whole interview. But what would you say would be your main piece of advice that you would give the up and comers try to break into the industry, and what would you say is the pitfall to try to avoid?
Ooh, very good questions. The first one, I always say, especially as an artist, but just as an entrepreneur as well, because you are your own boss. When it comes to your craft as an actor, you have to be a visionary, meaning have a vision for what it is that you want to accomplish right now, right? So, for instance, I remember when I started as a new actor, I just wanted a job. Just give me a job. I had stuff on my special skills that didn't have shit to do with acting. I could cook. My ironing skills are real good at putting creases in the jeans. I was like, what the fuck? Like, I had everything on there, right? I took all the photos. I had the procedural drama headshot. I had the wife photo. I had the mistress photo. I had the athlete photo. I had this photo, right? And people, your reps will tell you to do that because they don't know who you are.
Right.
So if you know who you are and you know what your strengths are, focus on that. So I wasted so much time until I realized, wait a minute, I'm a badass. Like, and if you don't know what your lane is, sit up front of like a group of people that you barely know and just ask them to start just spitting things out at you about who they think you are. And sit there and actually write it down, write all that down. That's when you walk into a casting room, that's who they think you are too. So make it very specific. I had to get all that shit off of my resume, throw a lot of money away from photos that I didn't use. And I was like, no, I am a strong, sassy, educated Black woman who will kick your ass. So my special skills only said, trained in semi-automatic rifles, handguns, fight choreography. I only put the special skills that supported who that person was, and I only took photos that supported what that character breakdown is. And the second I brought it all together and was so specific about who I was, that's when I started booking, because it was very clear that's the girl for this role. And it was what I wanted to do anyway. I didn't want to be the mom. Ew. So once you identify that, that's key within yourself. Then you build a vision board, right? And on that vision board, you literally put up there what you want to accomplish. Now, these are all just little nitbits to the meat. The meat is, to answer your question, is the number one advice that I would give is, I do not care what's on your vision board. If your deserving feelings don't match it, you will not manifest it. So if you build a vision board like I did, and it said series regular on network television, this man in my life with this house, boom, making this amount of money a year. Wow, vision is up on the wall. And then I would go lay down to go to sleep, and that little voice would say to me, bitch, you ain't even got an agent. You ain't even SAG.
Right.
You're going to be series regular? All right. Like my deserving feelings didn't match what was on the board. And then what a lot of people will think is, that positive toxicity shit when you're like, be positive, be positive, be positive. No. That little voice is actually telling you what your to-do list is, right? So I'd be like, okay, cool. Let me go get an agent. Okay, I got an agent. Let me look at the board. Oof, I still don't feel it. All right, what else? SAG? Cool. Let me go get SAG. Okay, look at the board. Ooh, I don't know. It's kind of getting better. Let me get some credits. Cool. I'll go get some credits. Come back. If I look at my vision board today, I look at it and I'm like, hell yeah, this is happening. I sure hope I like the fucking role I get to play. I hope I like her. I could take a villain, but whatever. I'm open. You know what I mean? Like, I just look at it, and like, even when I look at the house that's on my vision board, I was like, do I want it in Studio City or in the hills? Shit, the hills, earthquakes can't do it. I don't know. Let me think about it. Right? Like, but my deserving feelings are all in. I know I deserve everything that's on that board. How it manifests is none of my business. But if you create a vision board or you have a vision and you don't feel like you deserve it, it's just not going to manifest.
Right.
It's not real. So listen to that voice. Don't judge yourself. Listen to that voice. Be able to tell the difference between like toxic information that your brain is giving you. Like if it's trying to just like put you down, then that's bullshit. But if it's like, well, you ain't even got this, or you need to have this, or maybe get this, then go get it and then check back in. So your deserving feelings really matter. They really matter. It's not an external validation that is going to make you feel like you deserve it. The casting director telling you that you booked it isn't going to make you feel like you deserve it, because I've still seen people get on set and they don't feel like they deserve to be there, and they sabotage it by getting drunk the night before. Or they sabotage it by not memorizing their lines properly, or they have no emotional range when they show up the day that they need to cry because they don't even feel like they deserve to be there.
Right.
So that's key. Again, a lot of the hardest part about being an actor is the inside work. It is an inside job. Because when they hire you, they are literally renting your emotional baggage. They're renting your trauma. They are renting your body. So, you got to think about what you eat and how you eat. And if you do work out, or if you're like a character actor and that's your jam, then stick to that. Get the pizzas. But they're renting all of that from us. And that's why we get paid what we get paid.
Right.
Right. So, this is an inside job. You got to really get in there mentally and throughout the body. And then the one that I would say would take you out the game, if you keep quitting. A lot of people would quit on themselves a lot. They're like, you know what, I'm just gonna go to Bali for 3 months. Okay, bitch, bye. Like, what you won't do, the other chick will. Like,
exactly.
Move, get out of the line, then go. Because LA, every month a bus of every small town's head cheerleader star quarterback shows up.
Yep.
And people wonder why the homeless population is so high in LA. Because just like when you watch, American Idol and somebody is like cracking all the notes and they're terrible and they trash, and then the judges have to tell them like, can you hear yourself? And then they say like, yes, I can sing. And you know why? That's because all their family and friends in Omaha, Nebraska told them that they could sing. So then they packed up their bags and come to LA. And that's what we get. We get a lot of small town people that come out here. And then what happens? They're not built for this. Mm-hmm. LA is not a game. If New York was a river where you could just kind of jump in and just go with the flow of the city because it's so fast paced and so extravagant, LA is a pond. If you do not move, you will be in the same spot that you were a year ago. Like, you have to do the work. So LA is not designed to be easy, but it is designed to be cracked. There are cracks in the castle wall here, and the way that you find them is through relationships. But what happens, a lot of young people come out here, they don't have a plan, and they end up choosing routes that seem fast and easy, whether it be drugs, sex, partying all the time, and they start getting money from home, and then that ends up getting cut out, and then they end up on the street. Right. And it's really sad when you go through certain neighborhoods and you see a lot of young people on the street here. Like, LA has the highest population between 18 and 25 of homeless people, and it's heartbreaking. So I would always say, if you decide that this is what you're going to do, have a plan. And the plan doesn't have to be a 5-year plan. Just decide what it is that you want to accomplish by the end of the year. And I'm not talking about you have to be in LA. I'm just talking about as far as your plan as an actor. If it is, by the end of this year, I'm going to be SAG, you better find a way. That was my thing. I was like, I'm going to be SAG. And then what happened? Everybody's like, okay, well, I mean, you can do extra work and they'll give you some vouchers. And if you collect 3 vouchers, I was like, bitch, next. And then they was like, oh, well, then there's this Taft Hartley. If, they book you for a SAG role, but if you're non-union and you are like special, they will Taft Harley and you can get in a SAG. I was like, hell no, that's still giving somebody too much decision choice. Okay, what's next? And like, and everybody was like telling me, and I was like, no. So I went online, I went on SAG's website and I clicked on new media contracts. And it was like, okay, shoot a web series, okay. And if there's one person that is SAG, it's considered SAG, which would then tap Hartley me. I'm gonna go create a web series. And guess what? That web series was shot on my broken ass iPhone. And guess what I did? I stared at the camera and didn't say one word.
There you go.
Because it doesn't have to be good. It just has to be shot.
Because the goal was the SAG card, right?
I stared at the camera for 8 episodes. Cliffhanger, I blinked, and that was it. And then I was SAG. So there are so many cracks in the castle wall. You just have to be resourceful enough to go find them.
Love that.
And start giving everybody your power.
That's it.
But what happens if they give everybody their power, no one's giving it back to them because they don't know who the hell you are, and then people quit and they go home. So just don't quit on yourself. Don't quit on your dreams. Be resourceful. Don't do the obvious choices.
That has got to be the most real advice. Like, I mean, fantastic. Because I think people need to hear that. They need to hear how tough it is, but they need to also know that it is possible if you don't give up. And, really much respect for the whole deserving part of it, because I do feel like your mental game has to be strong. And if you don't love yourself or think that you're deserving of the things that you want, then you're right. You're never going to get them. So great to hear somebody say that to all the up-and-comers, because they need to hear that. Man, what a real interview this was. This was so much fun. You were an absolute gem to talk to. I mean, yeah, seriously, this has just been fantastic. Open invite, obviously. Whenever you want to come back on, just shoot the shit, or if you got something to promote, or just whatever. The weed thing works out. You want to come talk about it? Maybe you got your own brand. I don't know.
Bring the baggies. Just bring the baggies.
That's right.
There's going to be stems all through that shit, but we're going to figure this out.
We're going to get it. Seriously, though, open invite, more than welcome anytime you want to come back on, and we're just so happy you came on to chat with us, and we really appreciate it.
Really appreciate you too, Justin. Thank you so much for having me.
You bet. Take care now. We'll be in touch soon.
Bye.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.
So good, man. So good. I mean, she is definitely blunt and to the point. Like, sometimes that's what you need, though.
No pun intended.
Like, sometimes that is literally what you need. Like, you don't need somebody to hold your hand. If you want to do it, go out and fucking do it.
It's absolutely right. And don't do that if it doesn't work, I'm leaving.
Yeah.
Once you commit, and you got to go for it.
Exactly.
And because you and I have talked about this all the time, and Sky just reinforced it. If you don't, there is somebody right there to take your place that will.
Exactly.
So you got to keep doing it. But man,
exactly.
Woo!
So good, man. So good. Thank you again, Sky P. Marshall, for coming on the show. All right, now it is time for the top 5 segment, guys. Of course, brought to you by our producer, Jason. Man, oh man, this one takes me back because a lot of stoner flicks come to mind when it comes to movie spoofs. Oh man, there's a lot of different ones too.
No, yeah, and it very reminiscent for me too, because I may or may not have been high through most of mine.
Most of yours.
Or drunk. I mean, but they were so fun to watch.
Yeah, they were wild. Spaceballs
specifically.
Yeah.
Woo! Yes. How I even remember the movie, I don't know, but it was very entertaining. Let's get into it. Spoof movies, guys. Spoof movies.
Yes.
This is going to be fun.
It's crazy, man. It's absolutely crazy. My number 5 is Sausage Party. Most recently, probably about 3 years ago, Seth Rogen's fucking adaptation of all this, like, basically grocery store items who come to life when people leave, and fucking it's really weird. Towards the end, like, all the fucking food is having sex with each other, like, hot dogs and buns, and like, just, it's really freaking crazy.
It is.
If you are like under the influence and watching like the ending sequence, you're like, what?
Yeah.
So
it's basically an obscene spoof of Toy Story with food.
Exactly.
Like, that's really the best way to describe it, right? That, like, I mean, yeah.
Just be prepared if you go watch it after this. Be prepared.
Oh, my number 5, Scary Movie.
Yeah.
The best spoof of all the scary movies. Like, that's the thing. Like, Scream is a spoof of scary movies.
Yeah.
Right? But then Scary Movie is a spoof of Scream spoofing scary movies. So I just thought that was brilliant. Let's spoof a spoof of scary movies.
And building a whole franchise off of it.
Yeah.
It's like, what, 7 or 8 or something crazy?
I think so.
Like,
yeah. And it's another one where it's better
Yeah, right.
Under the influence.
Yeah.
I think all of these are, though.
I agree.
Not that we're, like, condoning any of that.
No.
You do you.
Yes.
Watch them however you want to. Just saying. I'm more mellow now.
Yeah.
I may get there with wine now.
know.
Young Frankenstein, any of these, we'll get there. But with wine instead of any of the other stuff.
Exactly.
Who knows?
But yeah, I know Anna Faris mostly from the Scary Movie
exactly.
franchise
It
than
kind of
anything else.
resurged her career, really. And then, Mom.
Yeah, exactly.
Scary Movie led to Mom.
It really did.
It did.
Agreed. My number 4 goes to the Zombieland franchise, basically making fun of everything zombie ever.
Yes.
It's so great. I mean, basically, like the steps how to kill zombies, what you need to survive, and I mean, Woody Harrelson and Emma Stone and what's his face who played Lex Luthor there.
Jesse Eisenberg.
Yes, it's such a great cast. So those three, when they get in their comedic space, even though they're also really brilliant drama actors, but when they get in their comedic space together, it's just great to watch.
It is. It is a phenomenal movie, and I agree. Good choice. Good choice.
Did you see the second one?
I have not seen the second one. It's
pretty good, too.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Lives up to the first one.
Guilty.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet. I need to, though.
Yeah.
I need to, though. My number 4, yeah, baby! Austin Powers, the best spoof of James Bond ever. Yeah, Shag. Brought back Shag, huh? Yeah. I mean, so many good things. Fat bastard. Like, it just... Like,
I love Goldmember with
oh,
Beyonce.
my gosh. Yeah. But, like, I mean, just, it's so good. All of them are just so good. All of them. But Fat Bastard is just, get in my belly.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't. Mike Myers absolutely slayed it in these. All of them. They're all hilarious. So Austin Powers, the series, is my number 4. So, like, because all of them are epic.
Hell yeah. Number 3 for me is Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story. Man, oh man, John C. Reilly, I mean, he's so good either way you go, like comedic route or very dramatic route.
It's true.
And I mean, just so many other great people attached to this thing. Gina Fisher, I mean, she's great. And I mean, every time that, it's basically a parody of Walk the Line.
Yep.
I mean, I love Johnny Cash, don't get me wrong, but that man was very serious.
He was very serious.
He was the Man in Black, so you need to joke around a little bit. But yeah, Walk Hard, if you guys haven't seen that one, it's pretty damn good as well.
Yes, it is. Agreed. And yeah, he took the, like, he wasn't a fun drunk.
No, he was not.
No, he was pretty, like...
Yeah.
But, he got better.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Takes time.
Thank you, June.
Yeah,
Thank you, June.
Exactly.
My number 3, the Star Wars spoof to end all Star Wars spoofs, Spaceballs.
Hell yeah.
The Schwartz is with you. Oh my God. John Candy, just like Bill Pullman, like... This movie, and of course Mel Brooks, the mastermind behind it, as like the version of Yoda. Rick Moranis with the fucking helmet, the Darth Vader. All of it is just, I can't. It's a Daphne Zuniga as princess, and just like all of it is just amazing. And we decided to just go after we. Yeah.
Just yeah.
And I couldn't stop laughing. Like, really, really obnoxiously loud laughing at everything. The movie was funny to begin with, but I thought it was really funny. Yeah, it was. It's a really good memory from my childhood. It's every time I see the movie, it makes me think of the people that I was with that night and like the fun that we had. And so sometimes that's the joy about movies.
I agree.
It's just a really good memory. So Spaceballs.
Yes.
Watch it however you wish, but watch it. Make sure you watch it because it's so funny.
It is. Number 2 for me is the original Super Troopers.
Yeah.
I mean, this one's so many freaking one-liners, guys. It's so damn good. And I mean, the sequel also did really well. And if you guys did not know, it was a crowdfunding campaign that got these guys to come back and actually shoot the sequel. So if you are an up-and-coming filmmaker, crowdfunding is a great way to get your project epic Maid.
Absolutely. We saw the sequel, with the defunct movie.
Yeah, we did. I would think that was like one of the first ones.
It was, yeah. And Rob Lowe was fucking hysterical in it. I
was.
mean, that was I loved it. I thought it was a really funny movie.
It was.
My number 2, what you people will like it. What do you mean, you people? What do you mean, you people? I'm, of course, talking about Tropic Thunder with Robert Downey Jr.
I'm the dude playing the dude dressed up like the dude.
That's right. Yeah. Robert Downey Jr. as the Black. Tom Cruise as the producer. Like, that shit's so fucking funny. Ben Stiller as the mentally challenged. There's so many parts about this movie that I could just go on and on and on about that make it an epic spoof of a war movie. All politically incorrect.
Yeah, right.
All probably could just like get you in trouble nowadays, but at that time, just some good shit.
It was.
Just some really, really fun. Ben Stiller, I think, maybe at his best.
Yeah.
It just, yeah.
Great movie.
Tropic Thunder.
Hell yeah. Number 1 goes to Shaun of the Dead for me. I mean, this one is hilarious. Simon Pegg came out of nowhere and just started pumping these movies out, like Hot Fuzz, Paul, like so many of these different style comedies that I feel like a lot of people have tried to emulate and follow, but no one can do it like Simon Pegg.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. My number 1, I have a theme going. It's like Mel Brooks, but I'm sticking with it anyway. Young Frankenstein, spoof of Frankenstein, obviously. But Peter Boyle, everybody loves Raymond Dad. You know, Peter Boyle was the monster, and Gene Wilder as Frankenstein. Just Madeline Kahn, like the whole cast, and just Igor. I credit my daughter for this one and her mom because they're the ones who really kind of turned me on to this film, which I was shocked by because I was a huge Mel Brooks fan and Blazing Saddles and all the kind of stuff, but it was just one that slipped under my radar, and they're like, oh my God, it's like one of the best movies ever. You gotta watch it, and they were correct.
Yes.
So it is at the top of my list. It's absolutely brilliant. Peter Boyle, comic genius, honestly, and Gene Wilder too. So if you guys haven't seen it, watch it. Fantastic.
It's so good, man. So good. What are your top 5 movie spoofs? We want to know. Be sure to let us know on social media and or underneath the YouTube channel video. So it's always fun to get the fan interaction. Now going over to box office recaps, The Croods, A New Age stayed at number 1 with $3 million.
There you go.
Number 2 was Half Brothers with 490,000. Elf came in with 400,000. Number 4 was Freaky with 315,000. And then number 5 was How the Grinch Stole Christmas with 268,000.
So Bobby is officially gone. It wasn't just a fluke last week.
Yeah, right?
It's okay, Bobby.
It's fine.
It's okay.
It's fine.
You're going to be okay, buddy.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. New movies that are coming out is Audrey, More Than an Icon, Breaking Surface, Monster Hunter, Fatal.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Another Round. So be prepared in the theaters maybe near you. Movies that you can still go see: War with Grandpa, The Polar Express, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, All My Life, and the original Wonder Woman is now out in theaters again.
Of course.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Total sense. Is Audrey More Than an Icon about Audrey Hepburn?
That's what I'm
That would
thinking.
be my guess.
Yeah.
Right, because she's an icon.
Exactly.
Just educated guess.
Yeah. You know. Now heading over to IMDb Pro Top Trending segment. You guys know we love this app. We told you earlier in the show, be sure to track some of these creators right now.
Do we?
Because they are making a whole bunch of headway in Hollywood. If it's going down, a lot of them have some involvement in it. So be sure to track them. Track us. I mean, we've got things in the works right now, and you're going to want to stay on top of all that stuff.
You are.
The top trending movie is Tenet, by no surprise, still with a lot of Nolan's backlash. A lot of people are still talking about it. Tenet's still number 1.
Yeah.
And plus, it's about to go to DVD. So stay tuned for that. Top trending show right now is, by no surprise, The Mandalorian. I know, be prepared, guys. guys. You're going to cry at the season finale. I forgot the first season was 8 episodes, so when we finally got on season 8, or episode 8, I was like, fuck. So yeah, be prepared. Double OG comes back, and be prepared. There's a lot of good stuff in this one.
Double OG.
Yeah. And there's an after credit scene that not a lot of people knew about, so stay tuned for that. And the top trending star is Anya Taylor-Joy, by no surprise, with Queen's Gambit right now. Huge.
And you guys will hear more about that next week with our bonus interview.
Yes.
Just saying.
Exactly. I don't know if you've seen this, and this is a little off topic, but very interesting. Everybody knows we love Bob Iger. He's one of our inspirations in the entertainment industry. Rumor has it, Biden might pick him as the ambassador to China.
Yes, which would make sense because his relations with China are phenomenal.
Yeah.
With the whole Disney World, Beijing. It was huge. He spent a ton of time over there. If you read his book, Ride of a Lifetime, you can hear all about that, how that went down. So this makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah.
The one thing I'm questioning is why is Katzenberg also in the running? That doesn't make sense. Iger, I totally get. Katzenberg? What ambassador
Why?
to what? Ambassador to what? Quibi? Is he gonna be down under? No, that's not. No. Forget Katzenberg. Go Iger, man.
Yes.
Iger would be brilliant.
But that would definitely be the transition out of Disney, I feel like.
It would be. That would be. Yeah, that would be it.
So
we'll see. Possible launch. Remember, many rumors that Iger at one point considered running.
Yeah.
Oprah wanted him to. Oprah would have thrown the money at him. She said so.
This is a stepping stone.
It could be.
Yeah.
I'm excited about that.
Exactly.
It'd be awesome.
It would be. We got to thank our guests one more time for coming on the show, Sky P. Marshall, for just rocking the house.
Yes!
For our last episode of the year. Oh, man, it was so good.
Perfect blend of humor and seriousness.
I agree.
I mean, she just nailed it.
I agree. Be sure to follow her on social media. She's everywhere. And, of course, you can follow the company on social media at Crazy Ant Media. And you guys know you can follow the podcast at ItCaf Podcast on all social media platforms. And you guys know you can follow your host with the most, myself, JLo Fantastic, at JLo Fantastic, and
Crazy Yankai 1970.
I'm
pretty positive that's what it is. Crazy Yankai 1970.
Yes.
I was waiting. I was you could follow, and I was waiting for the mouth or something like that, and then you just
no.
And I'm Crazy Yankai 1970.
This guy over here. That guy. That guy.
I haven't even had any wine yet.
What is going on? Oh, man. You guys know you can subscribe to this podcast anywhere you listen to your podcast. Anchor, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play Music, iHeartRadio, Podbean, Stitcher, so much more.
Done.
Thank you. If you have any podcast app, podcast platform that you're listening to, we're on there. So be sure to subscribe, comment, all that good shit. And, of course, you guys know we have a YouTube channel. If you're watching us on YouTube, hi. Appreciate it. Be sure to hit that like button on this video, subscribe, and ring that bell for all the latest and greatest notifications.
I found Anita Ward.
Yeah.
She's in Memphis.
She is in Memphis.
So we're working on it. I swear to God. We couldn't get it for the end of the year, but we will get her to ring in the new year.
2021, man.
We're going to have her ring in the new year.
We are.
Oh, come on, Anita.
Yeah, 2021.
She's in Memphis. She ain't even that far.
Exactly. And stay tuned for next week's Christmas dropped interview.
Yes.
Stay tuned for that.
That's exciting.
It is. Very good.
2 for the price of 1.
Exactly.
Can you figure it out?
Yeah, right. Stay tuned. Honestly, my favorite thing this week was Roku and HBO Max finally figuring out the deal.
Finally.
Yeah.
Finally. Thank you, because I wanted to watch Wonder Woman on the biggest screen that I have.
Yes.
So, if I can't see it, I'm super excited about it. I've been literally paying for this for months and watching it on my phone.
Yeah.
So I'm excited.
Super sad.
Thank you, Roku. Thank you.
Yes. I had the Xbox. I was good. I was fine. I know.
It's fine.
I know you were jealous.
He's a gamer.
It's okay.
It's fine.
It's okay.
I'm an old gamer back when Madden and sports games.
But now I can't keep up with the consoles. There's new consoles coming out, and those are $500. I don't have that to
No. We got better things to spend some money on.
We really do.
Like podcast equipment,
exactly.
and stuff like that.
We want to look as good as possible.
No, yeah, and we are playing some serious chess though.
We are.
this guy, Queen's
Yeah.
Gambit. One episode, he's like, let's play chess.
Yeah.
It's like, but they are good matches
They
so
are.
far.
They're
you
fun.
know? They're fun.
They're fun. I mean, they're very strategic.
He's staring at the ceiling all the time now. Like he's
Eating
walking around.
tranquilizers,
Like,
just fucked up all
Like-
day. All day, man.
Chess by day, spoofs by night.
Yes.
It's fantastic. It's like
Exactly. Well, we'll see you guys next year. I hope everybody has a great Merry Christmas, all that good stuff.
Yes.
And of course, we're bringing in the holidays with the one and only O That Matters. She's great.
Oprah!